Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson, Sports Center, brought to you by Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, home of smoke-free slots and the highest payout percentage in the area. Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, more spins, more wins, more fun. It's Wild Card Weekend. The Green Bay Packers visiting the Philadelphia Eagles for the second consecutive year. The Packers, the 7 seed in the NFC playoffs, trying to pull off an upset win on the opening weekend of the postseason. ESPN Bet lists the Packers currently as 5-point underdogs for Sunday afternoon's game. Kickoff is set for 3:30, nationally televised on Fox. All you need to get set for Packers-Eagles coming up all day today on 100.5 ESPN. Wilde and Tausch from 9 until noon. Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe live video streaming at 12:30 on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Kyle Bruston Nortman 2 to 4. Jim, Matt, and Molly from 4 to 5:30. That's when we'll join the Milwaukee Bucks visiting the Orlando Magic tonight. Following Bucks Magic, we'll join progress of Texas and Ohio State in the college football playoff semifinal at the Cotton Bowl. Approximate start in the third quarter here on ESPN Madison. Wilde and Tausch starts now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com. Three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
Is there anything anybody loves more than agreeing with Tausch?
Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher.
I got a hunch this isn't going to be concise either.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio.
I would say that you are pretty easygoing. You're actually probably more easygoing than I am.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Well, you're not easygoing at all.
Hey!
On 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
At the end of the day, they don't have enough blue-chip talent. There's not enough top-line talent on this roster to truly be one of the most feared in the NFC.
We're assuming 1-10 in the playoffs this year, right?
I don't know where I'm going.
In my heart of hearts, I think they're going to lose by double digits against Philly.
I sure know where I've been.
Kind of a sloppy game all in all. Far too many miscues.
Every single game, we got to do better. Look in the mirror, Matt LaFleur.
And I've made up my mind.
Jordan Love is still not right.
The message after the game was everybody was still together, not pointing fingers. You're doing that heading into the playoffs may not be the greatest sign.
Never seem to find what I'm looking for.
Jordan Love from last year is gone. This guy, he still looks like a second-year player.
If the Packers can't win, I need to have an emotional investment in another team.
You know who all the pressure is on in this game?
Showtime, baby.
It ain't the Packers.
Love steps up. Wide open, Jaden Reed. Goodbye. Touchdown, Packers. 70 yards.
Touchdown, Wicks wide open. Green Bay takes the early lead.
This isn't the plucky underdog story.
Hurts from the end zone. Intercepted. Taken away by Xavier McKinney.
Jacobs, he does not go down. Touchdown, Jacobs.
Just another example of many of Josh Jacobs making people miss.
Those curtains are coming open and the lights are going to come on and you're going to get exposed or you're going to showcase yourself.
New faces, a new team. Can't live on what we might have did last year against Cowboys.
Guys got to be dialed in and truly play each play as if it were your last.
Whoever wins this game Sunday is going to go to the Super Bowl.
We got to go out there and do it again.
Touchdown, Green Bay!
The triumphant return of Johnny Montage. Not gonna lie, wasn't expecting Whitesnake. But David Coverdale, gosh darn it, you sure can belt it out. Edition of Wilde and Tausch. On 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and, of course, everything you need on WisconsinOnDemand.com and the Wisconsin On Demand app. All right, my little window that shows me is covering up old boy, so I got to be able to see his smiling face from his undisclosed location. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studio. Go Pack Go with that shirt. Nice. Is that one of the shirts that didn't fit before, but now does? Thanks to Madison Weight Loss.
Couldn't fit this 4 months ago. Sure can now.
Except for your mom's opinion. And from an undisclosed location, which appears to be a hotel room somewhere on the planet, it is the Packers Hall of Fame. Oh, now we got the thumbs down. They're back! The emojis are back! If you're watching on the video stream, there it is again.
Why is
it reading your mind?
I hope not. It wouldn't be thumbs down if that was the
I hope not, too. It is the Packers Hall of Famer and the man who predicted that the Green Bay Packers are going to the Super Bowl.
No, not yet.
If I wasn't done.
You of all people.
If I wasn't done.
You of all people.
You interrupted me. There was another phrase coming, which is, if they beat the Eagles on Sunday. Mm-hmm. It is Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good, buddy. How are you?
I'm great. Had a great day at work yesterday. One of my favorite days at work I've had in a long time. We did have some fun with Jeff Hafley, but we did also get to bestow the Tom Mulhern Stand-Up Guy Award, which is obviously something Mully, who was my biggest mentor and also one of Sydney's godfathers, who passed away in 2014. The award is named for him. We give it every year to the players or players who help us do our jobs best. I'm telling you this, if we had it back when Old Boy was playing, he would have won it. Not later in his career because he would just avoid us, but it's a really, really important thing to me. And I want to thank Josh Jacobs and Xavier McKinney not only for being great with us all season and also setting examples for younger players on how to deal with the media, but I believe Nate LaCasio, who is on the Packers PR staff, tipped them off to what the award means to me personally. They were both great, and so thank you to them a ton. All right, so Packers-Eagles on Sunday.
Great montage, by the way. Was that the first montage of the season, or did we do one in the opener?
There was one ahead of the opener, but there haven't been any throughout the rest of the season. It's been
because it's just been kind of
business as usual.
Is that uncommon?
We usually have a couple montage. Big game like Detroit, I thought maybe would have been montage worthy. But
I gotta say, I'm impressed with the way that you managed to compliment him and then point out that he probably should have done more montages.
No. That was not my intention.
That's what happened.
Normally there's more than two montages. Maybe it's as the postseason continues on. Maybe there'll be more. Sure. Obviously, if we make a Super
Bowl
Bowl
all the way to the Super Bowl,
there will be a montage before that. But Jesse, that's one of the best things you do. That was outstanding. Gives you a good snippet of all of the ESPN Wisconsin personalities, kind of thoughts on the season. You get Matt LaFleur. You get a good snapshot of where we've been and where we're going and where we're at currently. And I like that. Well done.
Jesse, as you were going through that process, I like the way you split up my line about, who the pressure's on. It ain't the Packers. Did it increase, decrease, or not impact at all your hopes and confidence for Sunday, as I believe the Packers have now moved back to being a 5-point underdog as the money has come in on ESPN Bet at Potawatomi Hotel and Casino at their sports book. Did your montaging change in any way your thought process?
So I'll tell you this. I have a bank, whenever I do these montages, I have a bank of songs on my phone that I just keep a note running of. And so when I hear a good one, whether it's on Spotify or on the radio or when I'm walking into Quick Trip, I'll just jot the song down and go back and refer to it later on. And I was working this week to put this together, none of them made sense. Like, I didn't plan on going Whitesnake until sometime yesterday because, quite frankly, none of the songs that I had prepared fit the vibe of where I think we all stand. Like, a lot of times it's hype, it's excitement, it's let's go get it, and limping into the playoffs with losses to the Vikings and the Bears has definitely shifted the conversation the last couple of weeks. But I think what I tried to capture there was, yes, there's a lot of flaws that we see in the Green Bay Packers. I've seen them too. But also, it's a team that's played really well all season long against inferior competition. And they pulled off an upset last year in the opening round of the playoffs. Who's to say they can't pull it off again this year? So, yes.
Bigger dogs, too. They were bigger dogs last year.
Exactly, yes. So I would say I'm more excited after putting that all together and sitting down, putting our show sheet together last night. Like, I'm very excited for Sunday afternoon.
It was really good. I have to admit, the thought was crossing my mind of Tawny Katane on top of that vehicle in the video back in 1987. Pretty memorable scene in that video on MTV. But I ask you this, Tausch, because you just made what's an interesting point, but I would juxtapose it against my back and forth with LaFleur, I think, yesterday, which is they may have been bigger dogs last year. But didn't you feel better about their chances? I mean, we can check the tape, as you like to say, but I know that I was much more, I think they can do this than
Jesse.
I am this year.
Yeah, pull it. No, I felt better last year.
Yeah, me too.
I did. And I think part of it is, obviously, they were playing better. They beat the Bears, and it wasn't like, if you recall last year, it wasn't like it was a great effort against the Bears at home last year, right? I mean, they beat Chicago, and it was, but it was choppy. It wasn't where we're humming on all cylinders, Jason. Unless I'm misremembering things, I don't recall our offense humming through the Bears that day. I don't.
So I do remember very vividly Matt LaFleur. In fact, I was looking at this story the other day, sprinting onto the field as time was expiring to hug Jordan Love. In that game, Dontavion Wicks, if you recall, had 2 touchdown catches. Jordan Love was 27 of 32 for 316 yards, 2 tutters, no picks, a passer rating of 128.6.
What was the score, though? I'm not saying you're not going to get me to argue that Jordan Love was playing a heck of a lot better at the end of the season last year. I've been on that.
It was only 17-9.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It was not like I think offensively you felt a lot better, and then everybody was the Joe Barry component and everything else. But I think if Jesse throws this pull in the field, Packer fans were a lot more optimistic last year. And part of it, too, is there was no expectation. Last year was the house money playoffs. And I didn't think we would have another house money playoff season. I thought we'd be more favorites this year. And with the fact that we're not, have we gotten our head wrapped around that we're in the exact same position as we were last year, even though everybody, I believe, thinks this is a better team? I don't have the same level of confidence that I had last year, thinking, even though Dallas was a really good home team last year, you felt like this team on offense was a lot better than they are this year. That's kind of where I'm at as we sit here today.
I would agree, and unfortunately, Matt LaFleur did not really like my line of questioning to this effect because, I got the I respect the question, which loosely translated
with all due respect,
I blank and hate your question, you blankety blank. But I asked him about the vibe last year as it compares to the vibe this year, and he was not a fan. I hate it when you guys do this.
Jason, what do you expect him to say? No, our vibe was 100 times better last year. We're limping in and playing half blanket right now. Like, what do you expect him to say?
No, but what I was driving at, which I thought was the important point, which it got lost in the wash, I totally get it, is that if you don't, because look, let's be honest. Last year, if you asked him if he believed in momentum, he would not have said no.
Correct.
He wouldn't have. He would have said yes because they had it.
Because it was good.
This year, earlier in the week, I think it was Demovsky. Do you believe in momentum? No. Each game is itself. No, really? Interesting. That's because you have none. But my point was basically, or at least my intent was, when you go through last season and you're feeling the way you are going into the playoffs and you don't have the 3-game winning streak to go into this year, how do you get that vibe back during the course of the week so you can go into Philadelphia with the same kind of confidence and we're going to stick it to these blankety blanks, etc. And again, I hate the comparison, guys. Okay, but you know that it's in your mind too. And my point was, because look, and you know this after games, and I know it subsides, but like that locker room after they lost to the Bears, they were disappointed, downtrodden, and pissed off. Now, sometimes being pissed off is a great thing, right? It's a great motivational tool. But the locker room vibe was not great, Bob. And the question I have is through the course of the week, and you tell me this, because you surely had to do this at times, how do you get it back? Sharp practices? Johnny montages? How do you get it back? Because I loved how they were. I remember vividly the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday locker room before they went to Dallas. It was loose. It was confident. Guys were joking around.
What is it now? What is it today?
It's I don't know what it'll be today, but yesterday and Wednesday it was kind of meh. Like there wasn't music. I didn't hear music playing. Like there weren't guys, they weren't doing that stupid head fake game that they play. Like there was it just didn't feel juicy. And as I've learned from Jaden Reed,
no juice.
If you got no juice, then I got no use for you or something. If you're juiceless, you're useless.
What would be the word you'd use to describe the locker room this week?
Even-keeled. I stood by Romeo Dobbs for a while. I don't know. It's just sort of there. Like there's not a and I'm sure part of it is
belief. Is there a belief in that locker room that these boys can do what we're asking them to do?
I don't think it's fair to them to say no just because I maybe have a bias toward how I'm interpreting their behavior.
But you interpreted it correctly last year.
I did. But maybe the attitude is, all right, we've been here before. There's not the same giddiness. Maybe that's part of it too, right?
Josh Jacobs and Xavier McKinney haven't been there before.
They've each been to the playoffs once, but not
last year.
Not very often. They're a group unto themselves.
So, Jason, here's what I would say. I think there's the excitement last year of kind of building, and the season started off so poorly, and a real sense of accomplishment, right? And there's something about that builds confidence and everything else. This is not a seasoned veteran group. This is a group that I think had bigger expectations. The win kind of got pulled out of it after Detroit when you realized you weren't winning the division. You bounced back. You were pros. But even with all that, you never, even going into Seattle, I think you played one of your better games of the year. Then you limp in. You don't play well against Minnesota for 3 quarters. And then you have a full game. You don't play well against Chicago. Your confidence isn't where it needs to be, and you don't fake that. Like, you don't. What you do, to answer your question, is you understand it's all a new season. Everybody's regular season is dead. How do you approach with a new enthusiasm, unlike any other mankind? And if you do that, that's why I think getting off to a good start is so important this week, because it sounds like it's fragile. Maybe that locker room's fragile, and that is not a good thing. You don't want you want a hardened football locker room. You want a group that is been through it and understands the ups and downs. And when you said even keeled, I'm like, all right, I'm good with that. You don't want a fragile group where it's like you're looking for the shoe to drop, and then that's it. That's what you're trying to avoid. So I don't need you dancing and having the time of your lives, but you're a 7 seed. You have nothing to lose. Nobody thinks you're going into Philly and winning. I bet you there's going to be 50, 60% of Packer fans. I'm not even sure. You mean I'm a homer. I'm not sure which way I'm going yet. So when you look at this whole deal, it is the matter of flipping the switch and just saying, we just got to go out. We know we're a good football team. We have to get this other stuff cleaned up. And it's tough mentally to keep reminding yourself of that when you have not proven it to yourselves throughout 17 weeks.
Yeah. We'll talk more about Packers-Eagles as we get you ready for Sunday's NFC Wild Card at Lincoln Financial Field. I got a nice text from Gina Della, who enjoyed my suggestion that she pose for photographs and sign autographs while she was at State Fair Park at the Hope Show. And I hope that it's going well for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. And just like I hope you're not dealing with seasonal affect disorder this
well, happy
winter.
New Year means a lot of rough days ahead for those who do suffer from that seasonal affective disorder. It's gray, it's snowy out today, frigid days. We all just want to be snugly and warm at our crib. And Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Celebrate the new year with 0 interest for up to 3 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. But hurry up, this offer ends January 31st. So visit PellaWI.com today to learn more. Certain restrictions do apply, but the Hope Show, the Home and Hope Show, it's the home show, but there's a ton of hope. If you get these new windows and doors, head on out there. Pella's going to be there all weekend out at State Fair Park. Gina will be there from 3 to 4:30. Be a big TV and billboard star. Sounds like she will take autographs and she will take photos, all of that good stuff if you head out there. And I found out, I complained a little bit. Gina, to her credit, told me booth 416, which I believe, in an ironic twist, is a Pittsburgh area code. Don't quote me on that. Might be 412, but I believe it's a 416. So booth 416 out at the Hope and Home Show out at State Fair Park. Again, head on out there this weekend to find out all the great stuff that Pella's got going on.
The 416
narrator.
The 416 area code
is Toronto.
Toronto, Canada.
Well, that's the Pittsburgh of Canada, is it not?
I feel like that's I think Calgary would be the.
Linkster, help us out. Is Pittsburgh Toronto of Canada?
In fairness to Old T, once again, 412 is the Pittsburgh area code.
Oh, it's off by 4 numbers. Okay, that's close.
And about, I don't know, how many miles?
700. Good hike.
Same time zone.
Yeah, it is true.
Gotta get to Montreal. Right. If there's one spot in Canada you want to go visit, where do you guys want to go? I want to go to Canada.
Vancouver.
I want to go to Montreal.
I want to go to Vancouver.
What's the one right on the opposite side of Niagara Falls?
That's Windsor.
No, that's on the other side of Detroit.
Toronto's right on the other side of Niagara
It's not
Falls.
Toronto.
No, it is. Dude, there was a defensive end that played for the Buffalo Bills that lived in Toronto and took a limo every day to practice from Toronto.
We could continue to debate the 1 hour and 50-minute drive between Toronto. I did already. Toronto to Buffalo is a 1 hour and 50-minute drive.
No, it was less. He said like an hour and 10 or hour 20. Is it a defensive end from
Did you
Buffalo
play
Bills.
with him? Vaughn
I played
Booker?
against him. You can Google it. You'll find it.
I'll work on that. Before we get into the hardcore Packers-Eagles preview, had a little fun with Jeff Hafley yesterday. We'll play that next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Do you want to have more fun watching the NFL playoffs? Try playing Sleeper Picks. Just download the Sleeper app today and pick more or less on at least 2 players' projected stats. You can win up to 100 times your cash. For a limited time, Sleeper has a special offer. New users have to just play $5 and they'll receive $55 in free entries. Just download the Sleeper app today and use code BRAD, B-R-A-D. Must be 18 years or older. Promo code, location, and other restrictions apply. Minimum deposit $25. See terms of use for details. Please play responsibly. Call 1-800-426-2537 for help.
Madison's home of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Lillard lobs up top to Giannis. Whoa, what a play!
Wisconsin Badgers volleyball.
Underneath it, pump set, left side, powers it down. What a rally, and Wisconsin comes out on top.
And now, the Milwaukee Brewers.
Hit to left and deep. Get up! Get up! Get out of here! Gone! Wow!
This is Madison's new home of the Milwaukee Brewers. 100.5 ESPN.
Looking for the most popular answer. What's the worst thing about Wisconsin winters? Gina Della from Pella.
Finding a sitter when snow closes school. Yay! It's the time of the year when we just want to be all warm and snuggly at home. And Pella helps make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. With inviting doors to let friends and family in and beautiful energy-efficient windows to keep the cold out. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply.
Mark Tusher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with early pay from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Metro Kia of Madison is Madison's trusted Kia dealership, and they are home to the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. If you're looking to purchase, finance, or service your vehicle, Metro Kia of Madison is the place to go. As always, at Metro Kia of Madison, you can enjoy 2 years of no-charge maintenance on any new vehicle. Browse their inventory and find this month's special at metrokiaofmadison.com. That's metrokiaofmadison.com. Find your new vehicle at your trusted Kia dealership today.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Watch every ESPN Madison show live every day. Subscribe to ESPN Madison on YouTube for live video of every show and exclusive content. Just search ESPN Madison.
This ain't a good time, but when is it ever? I know the perfect time, and maybe that's never. So don't you dare leave me now.
A couple of housekeeping items before we get to the Jeff Hafley show. One, per the Klinkster, Hamilton is the Pittsburgh of Canada.
Okay.
And that's the one that's right across. That's what I was trying to think of by Niagara Falls.
I'm going to guess Chidi Ahanatu.
You're not guessing. Stop guessing.
No, that's my guess.
Is it really?
Yes. Played for Tampa, and I believe I blocked him a bunch when we were still in the same division, and then, which was, I think, a year or two.
You looked it up.
No, I 100%
AI?
didn't.
Grok?
No.
Did you ask
No.
Grok?
No, you know, I'm not at my undisclosed location, so I don't have access to as much stuff as I normally do.
You are correct. It was Chidi Ahanatu.
What a great name. Loved going against Cheaty.
Cheaty, bang, bang. Am I right?
Competitor. Loved playing against Cheaty.
He gets you a few times?
No, Cheaty didn't get me. That's why I love playing against him. But what a fun way. I mean, he literally was like, I'm going to go experience some different stuff. I want to get – now, that's a long drive every day.
Hour and 50 minutes. Cheaty, I can't beat you.
I feel like Cheaty had a different way. Maybe his limo was faster. But do you imagine every day? Car service, Buffalo, Toronto. Yeah, that'd be fun. They used to play games in Toronto. The Bills did.
In 1997, they played a game in Toronto in the preseason against the Bills, Packers-Bills.
No, I'm saying the Bills played regular season games in Toronto.
I don't know how long ago that was, but I'll fact check that for you. But
you can fact check; it's right.
Yeah, I
just like this other stuff was right.
Cheaty Ahanatausch, we got it. Yes, you're right. We will get to that. So we had a little bit of fun yesterday with Jeff Hafley. So about a month ago, Jeff Hafley.
You got a little man crush on old Half, don't you?
I think he and I have some connectivity. There's a spark.
How so?
You gonna miss him when he goes to coach the Jaguars?
I literally said that after the press conference yesterday. Man, I'm gonna miss him next year when he's coach of the Jaguars. I literally said that because he's got some history with Trent Baalke, because they were both at San Francisco at the same time. And resident Buffalo Bills fan Brian D. informs us late 2000s, early 2010s, you are correct, Buffalo Bills games in Toronto. Yeah. So thank you, Brian, for fact-checking us. It's almost as if you used to be a producer before you were a big deal. But
sounds like Tausch is on fire today.
He is. Yeah, there's no way he could sustain this.
No. It troubles me that I will forget the most mundane things, but I can remember a defensive end I blocked, and that he was the Toronto Buffalo. Like it's troubling to me. Like, in fairness. All right, continue on your little
we don't joke about that. So anyway, about a month ago, he noticed that I wear different school sweatshirts every day. And so it was Oregon one day. It was I was wearing SMU one day. That was when he really commented. Then it was Virginia. Then last week, having sensed a pattern, I wore my Pittsburgh Panthers hoodie because he had coached there. I wanted to see if I'd get a reaction, and I did. And he said, "Do you have a Boston College one?" That would be sweet. Well, I do have one. There was one drawback to it, though.
A little snug. Probably a little snug.
It's an older hoodie. It's a large.
Little Madison Weight Loss Center.
Schedule your free consultation in person or virtually, MadisonWeightLoss.com.
Hey, you doing all right? You're like a cat this week.
Yeah, I've got a hairball.
Way to fight, though. You're competing. I love it.
Yeah, I push through. I'm a grinder. So anyway,
Jesse'd be off for a month with that, just so we all are on the same page.
So I had to present the Mully Award yesterday, so I was definitely not going to wear the Boston College Schmedium hoodie all day long. But so I changed into it for the press conference just for that.
Oh, boy.
I want to be clear on something before we go any further because you're rolling your eyes at me and you're pissing me off.
Here's the deal. How am I pissing you off?
Because you are.
You're thinking that far ahead. I can't think something's funny. No, I have to sit there and say, oh, my God. I think this whole scenario is funny.
You didn't laugh. You said, oh, my God. In fairness.
It's a bit outrageous in my book. But continue. I didn't interrupt you. I just think it's outrageous. I think it's outrageous. The tape. Continue.
Oh, my God. I believe that there is a value in connecting with people, however you do it. And there are different ways to do it, certainly. You know, with Xavier McKinney, you compare him to Charles Woodson, and then he talks to you every day, right? Like, there are different ways that you connect with people. And the hoodie thing was a fun little thing.
You schmooze.
I don't. If you want to call it that, fine. Anyway, so I squeeze into this schmedium hoodie.
Was it tattered or is it pretty clean?
No, it's in pretty good. I take very good care, and it hasn't been worn in quite a while.
That's fair.
So it's in very good condition. Literally, Paula has it now to sell on Poshmark because it's way too tight. But be that as it may, I'm sitting in my seat, and Jeff Hafley was delayed coming in, and we know he was in the little green room, and I think it was because he was formulating, how am I going to answer the what the hell were you doing on the last defensive snap against the Bears when you lined up 3 safeties inside your own 30-yard line and allowed them to complete the pass in front of you?
Sure.
Okay? So he's preparing for that, and then he enters the room.
I really appreciate that today. I needed that. That is awesome. I got to way better. I got to get you. What size do you wear? You don't have to say that publicly. I shouldn't ask you that. Afterwards, tell me what size, because the Under Armour deal, we'll get you a Nike one. That is really cool. You know what? You just made my day. So thank you for that. You're a good man. I appreciate it. I know, but I won't say that. You guys are great. It has been a fun year with you, and hopefully it will continue. But thank you, seriously. That's really cool that you did that. So go ahead. Ask about the last play of the game. Yeah, here's the deal. And you know, I've been very truthful with you guys, and I'm not going to go through this one in length. Matt addressed it. There was miscommunication. It's not the call we were supposed to be in. Certainly not at that time. Obviously frustrating, disappointing, learn from it, move on, and we're on to Philly. But I'm not going to sit here and get into rehash all that, and I'm sorry that I can't do that. But he addressed it, and it clearly was not what we were supposed to be in, certainly. So miscommunication, not ideal with what we were going to be in. Disappointing, learn from it. Will never happen again. So, learning experience.
So, Tausch, when a coach says it's a miscommunication, put on your Tausch translator hat, because I feel like I can safely assume, tell me if I'm wrong, that means he did not get the call communicated to the players because he's not dumb enough to line up the guys to defend a Hail Mary the way they were basically doing that, or am I wrong?
I think you're right. But I just, first off, I respect how you go about your job, and I don't want to get all mushy with you. That is why you're a great reporter, because you do grease the skids a little bit, and you get people comfortable so that they do feel like they'll give you more than maybe somebody else. I've said that for years.
You have.
I said that on Vinny and the boys this morning. You know what you're doing. You have a way to maneuver, and what you did yesterday is what your job is. You got an answer to a question he obviously didn't want to really get into, and you did it with putting on an incredibly snug, it appears somewhat tattered shirt that the defensive coordinator feels like he needs to replace to help you. So kudos to you. You're getting a new sweatshirt out of it, and you get your story, and you get a clip for our radio show. So kudos to you, Jason.
What size do you wear? You don't have to say that publicly.
How much money do you make? And let me know what insurance program you're on with your family. This should be a great lesson for the Joe Barrys and for some of these other coordinators, that you can do your job, you can protect things, and you can form a connection that will give you more grace when you have something like that happen against the Bears. Because if that was Joe Barry, oh my God, can you imagine? Has anybody said fire Hafley after that? I'm sure maybe right after the game.
Sure.
But that should be a great lesson to be learned. And as far as the play, it obviously, the whole thing was disjointed. I think the Bears, you didn't think they were going to get to move the football into that position. And then I think they just didn't think they could get a playoff. And I think they know it's 12 seconds. That's about that time. Because the Bears didn't even go. It's a church play. We called it a church play. Get the ball in the middle of the field, catch it, run, go to a knee quickly, hand the ball to the ref, sprint up the line, spike it, and get your guys out on the field. The Bears didn't even do that. The Packers allowed him to do it. So I think Jeff Hafley knows it was a mistake. And now the big thing is it ain't happening again. We have this on tape. And sometimes failure is the best teaching method so it doesn't happen again. And I think that's the motivation and what Jeff Hafley's trying to get accomplished there.
Did you guys call it the church play because of the kneeling component?
Yes, that is exactly why. Yep.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah. So I also understand that he knew the question was coming, but he does have to walk a line there, right? Because what he doesn't want to do is spend his 15 minutes with us when he has the challenge of this Eagles offense. And we ended up talking all Eagles the rest of the way. But the challenge, you don't want to spend time rehashing a game that not only did you lose, but it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah,
it was 5 days ago.
Yep.
We also did ask Rich Bisaccia about the punt return, and there were a series of questions on that.
You gonna be rocking any like Raiders hoodies or anything with him?
No,
or you just
no,
your relationship is what it is.
I mean, again, speaking of coach interactions, last week for Bisaccia, I was late. Which I wasn't late. He was supposed to start at 3:05. I walked in at 3:04. But he starts early. He's on Lombardi time.
I don't feel like you could have played for Lombardi.
I don't think I could have. No.
I think you need to play for McDaniel down in Miami. You show up whenever you want. If you don't feel like playing, don't. Like Tyreek. Is that a fair assessment?
I wouldn't quit on my team.
No, not quitting, but you show up. If you're going to get there, you'll show up right on time. And Lombardi wouldn't have been a good fit with you. Tom Coughlin, not a good fit. Bill Parcells, not a good fit. Belichick, not a good fit. All fair?
Yeah, very fair. Yeah.
Okay, Saban, not a good fit.
Could I have played for McCarthy?
No. I don't think so.
Why not?
Where are you playing?
Well, I didn't know this was position specific now.
What are you, Jesse Nelson? You think you can go play shortstop for the Mallards? Like, what are we doing here?
Second base.
For one inning, and we would be fine.
Now that you're all slim, maybe you could go play an outfield.
Jesse's going to be a pinch runner.
I didn't get faster thanks to Madison weight loss.
No, I'm sorry, but losing some weight is going to make it faster.
It is, no doubt. Anyway, we did address with Rich Bisaccia. Anyway, I was late last week because I was doing KBN. I thought I was on time. They started early, and while I was still finishing with KBN, he was making jokes at my expense about that I wasn't there yet.
He didn't like
you. Wait for him.
He doesn't like you.
No, we're great. We're great. We are really good. I think he does. I think he does. Now, he did like me a little. The bottom line with him was, and this is my fault for not knowing the dynamic, I asked him about Jeff Hafley, and he's like best friends with Joe Barry. And so I put him in an awkward spot, and he was pissed. Because what's he supposed to say about the coordinator that he works with vis-a-vis the coordinator that he was very close with? So that was on me. And I didn't know that. If we spend more time with these guys, I'd be able to know that. Anyway, bottom line, they can't have the punt return thing happen again. They can't have what happened against the Bears happen again. And they have moved forward. The question I have, and we'll get into this coming up during the game preview, is what exactly are the Packers' advantages in this game?
Yeah.
Because I'm struggling a little bit to find them. So we'll address that during the Green and Gold preview. That's coming up next, after Tausch tells us about what American Family Insurance has going on right now.
Okay, it is the season of giving, Badger fans, Packer fans, Wisconsin sports fans. And this year, you can double your impact for the thousands of children receiving top-notch care at the American Family Children's Hospital. Sarah and I, we have teamed up with American Family Insurance to raise funds for the American Family Children's Hospital virtual toy drive. Proceeds go towards therapeutic play supplies for pediatric patients, and American Family Insurance has generously matched donations up to $50,000. And boy, are we close. We have until the 17th, which is next Friday, to get this done, and we are razors close. Head over to AmFam4Kids, that's the number 4, to donate today. Again, that's AmFam4Kids.org.
We'll get to the Green and Gold game preview next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Something special is brewing at ESPN Madison.
Swinging a fly ball to left, to the wall, gone!
You're You're listening to Madison's new home of the Milwaukee Brewers, 100.5 ESPN.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson to tell you about Madison Weight Loss, the program that I experienced last year from the middle of August to the middle of October. It was 60 days, and I was able to drop 40 pounds of unnecessary, unwanted fat, and all I had to do was change my diet. No injections, no intense workout regimens, no surgeries. All it was the natural, healthy way, changing what I eat. I couldn't believe it. I'd lost 40 pounds simply by changing up my diet. I never thought it was possible. When I first started working with Madison Weight Loss, I thought, okay, maybe 20 pounds will be really great to lose, maybe 25 if we're really pushing it. I was able to drop 40 pounds, almost a pound a day, and it was all thanks to the coaching and the expert guidance from the team at Madison Weight Loss. If 2025 is the year that you've set out that weight loss goal and you don't know what the best way is to go about it, you've tried doing it yourself in the past and it just hasn't achieved the results you're looking for, contact the team for a free consultation in person or virtually at MadisonWeightLoss.com. That's MadisonWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
When you're in the right place at the right time, things get done. The important things, like knowing what you need and how it all works. Talking truck. Fixing it right the first time. At Zimbrick Chevrolet, our people get it done right and now. That's how you know you're in the right place at the right time. And you'll never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Come see what the buzz is all about at Madison Axe, Madison's state-of-the-art entertainment spot. Enjoy 8 lanes of axe throwing, craft beer, interactive games, plus digital target projection and scoring. For even more fun, check out their indoor backyard with 2,000 square feet of shuffleboard, cornhole, yard games, bar table games, and more. Perfect for date night, groups, corporate meetings, or private events. Madison Axe is your destination for all things fun. Throw it, nail it, celebrate. Go to MadisonAxe.com or head to their location on Stoughton Road today.
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison wants you to start the year behind the wheel of a brand new ride in our Road to the Motherlode giveaway. On Friday, January 31st, there are lots of opportunities for you to strike gold. 3 winners will be chosen every half hour from 6 p.m. until 9:30, with each taking home a cash prize between $500 and $2,500. Then at 10 o'clock, one grand prize winner will receive our largest single prize ever, a $50,000 vehicle certificate. And it's only at Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison.
Your warehouse concrete floors see a lot of traffic. Uneven, sinking, or cracked concrete can pose a serious threat to any business operation. From trip hazards to cracked foundations, sinking concrete can keep any business owner up at night. Concrete Lifting Technologies is here to help. Concrete Lifting Technologies can even out that concrete floor to prevent these hazards. They can level your warehouse floor within a few hours and don't even need to shut down your operations. Visit itaintmudjack.com to get a free quote today. That's itaintmudjack.com.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
This is Madison's new home of Milwaukee Brewers baseball.
And the pitch. Hey, struck him out swinging.
100.5 ESPN, your new home of the Milwaukee Brewers.
No time to waste. Let's get to the green and gold game preview.
Let's take a closer look at this week's matchup. This is the green and gold game preview.
Wild card weekend for the Green Bay Packers visiting the Philadelphia Eagles Sunday, 3:30. Big game, Burkhardt and Brady on the call. We'll see if Tommy can remember who the Packers have lost to this year.
Do you guys think this is going to be Brady's only season doing color?
No, I think he'll give it one or two more.
I have seen people that have that theory, including people that know a lot about television, sports media.
Don't you think it would be better for him to get Bradshaw out of there, put him in there with Gronk, like him, Gronk, and Edelman? Like I think Fox should shake that thing up a little bit. Put those guys in there. Put old Olsen back in there with Berkey, and everybody's
Olsen's
happy.
better.
Yeah, Olsen's better.
Olsen's better, no doubt. His voice is a lot better. It sounds a lot like mine.
It's true. He's not wrong.
I wonder if Brady's ownership with the Raiders is going to end up being what kind
of
pushes
it's
him over with
problematic.
that.
There's no doubt about it, Jesse.
It's definitely
You're right.
problematic for sure.
Anyway, enough about Tom Brady. Let's get to the green and gold game preview for the Packers and Eagles Sunday afternoon. What is the big storyline heading into this game, Tausch?
Before Tausch answers, his idea of putting those three together, like you could create an NFL version of Inside the NBA with Ernie Johnson and Shaq and Kenny the Jet and Chuck, which would be really entertaining. So, again, it pains me to say this, but the delicate genius of Mark Tauscher strikes again. Now, please continue.
Okay.
Tausch, what's the big story?
Tom Brady, as they had
I feel like we need a reset on the green and gold game preview.
Yeah, to me, I think this is going to all be about can we force Jalen Hurts into some bad decisions. Philly's really good up front. If this is going to be a game where Jalen Hurts and the running game is going to really be good, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. This needs to be a game where you force Jalen Hurts into some rusty throws, some bad plays, and Xavier McKinney has a day. I don't think if this thing is a clean football game, I don't like Green Bay's chances. I think had Jalen Hurts and this offense really been humming and they're playing great, I would say, it's deuces B. They're better because they have more. Like listening to Gabe in the montage, I can't argue a ton. They're better. They have bigger dogs when it comes to wide receivers. They have more stars that'll make these plays. But I don't necessarily – I would rather have Jordan Love as my quarterback, this even with maybe the elbow, than where Jalen Hurts is at. And if Jalen Hurts is careful with the football, this will be deuce. This will be Rap City, USA for the Packers season.
I'm going to go on the other side of the ball in terms of the Packers offense because, as Matt LaFleur correctly pointed out, they've got studs at each level of their defense. And – we talk so much about offensive line on this show when we have two outstanding former Packers offensive linemen. Is this group up to the task or not? Because, forget about the Bears game for a second. The Vikings, they didn't eat the Packers offensive line's lunch.
Halftime lunch they did.
But they definitely ate some of their sandwich and their Cheetos and their dessert, like a little bit of all of it. And even Zach Tom, who we all agree on this panel, and Bulaga too, think is really, really good. He wasn't that good that day.
No, tough day. Tough environment.
They've got, and this is another tough environment. Maybe not as tough as US Bank Stadium, but it's tough. So, to me, I'm putting it on the offensive line to be able to not only open holes for Josh Jacobs, but to give Jordan Love time to play like Jordan Love. And when we went through those numbers of the last Bears game of last season to close the regular season, and then what he did the following week against the Cowboys, he was on a hot streak, and he definitely is not going into this one. You better protect him to give him every chance to succeed. Next.
Besides Jordan Love, which player's performance is most important for the Packers to have success on Sunday, Tausch?
I think it's Rashawn Gary. And I think it's being disruptive in the backfield. He is. People can argue and debate. He is one of your Pro Bowl players. He's one of your core guys. And for as much as we love the playoff Bo Melton and we love all these guys that will rise up and make a few plays, your dogs got to be dogs. And if you're going to force Jalen Hurts into some bad decisions, maybe get a strack, create some turnovers, your boys up front have to win. And yes, it'd be great if Brenton Cox makes a play or Enigbare or somebody else, but I think Rashawn Gary, and if he ends up going, over Lane Johnson a bunch, he's got to beat him. He's got to make plays. And if they don't, and it's not disruptive, and it's old boy sitting back there patting that pill and being able to take time to deliberate to make plays, it's going to be a long day in Philly if that's the case. So Rashawn Gary needs to be a field tilting player, and we'll see if that is going to be in play.
So I'm going to cheat on this one, as I frequently do in the green and gold game preview, and this is a three-headed monster for me. And Tausch, you're right. I love Bo Melton. And I would love nothing more than for playoff Bo to have a 100-yard game like he had against the Vikings in the second-to-last game of the regular season, and then do what he did in San Francisco. He had a touchdown in that game. Like if he rises to the occasion with added opportunity after catching only 8 balls all year, great. But this comes down to the 3 guys that are at the top of the depth chart that have been inconsistently productive this season. Jaden Reed, Dontavion Wicks, and Romeo Doubs. They've all had moments where they've been productive, and they've all had moments where you wondered where they were. Now, in Romeo's case, turned out he was at home, and then on Sunday he was sick. But Wicks has played probably the most consistently of any of them over the last 6 weeks after he couldn't catch a cold with all the drops he had. So how effectively are those guys getting open? And then obviously it comes down to Jordan Love getting him the ball. But as much as I want Bo Melton and Malik Heath to ride in on their white horses and save the passing game from Christian Watson's absence, those are your 3 guys that we've all said are capable of being number ones at different times. Are they going to be able to rise to the occasion in this game? I'm not sure they can. If they can, though, that gives them more than just a chance to have a chance.
Last up in the green and gold game preview, the Packers beat the Eagles. For the second straight year, advance as the 7 seed out of the wild card round to face the Lions in the divisional round.
And then go to the Super Bowl.
Blank. Tausch, fill in the blank. How do the Packers get the win?
Jordan Love has to be the Jordan Love from last year at the end of the season. He needs to have a big boy game. And, Jason just went through the wideouts, and as I'm sitting here, I'm saying, if that's the case, we're in trouble. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that is what's needed. I think it's Tucker Kraft. I just think Jordan needs to be on it. If it's dumping it on screens, if it's going to Tucker, if it's going to Musgrave, Jordan just needs to be the guy that we saw at the end of last year. And why the Packers decided to invest the 55 plus is because they feel like Jordan can elevate the rest of his team. Consistently, he has not done that this year. That's probably why you're a 5-point dog heading into Philly. But Jordan Love needs to be, to answer your question succinctly, Jesse, he needs to be 300 with 3 tutters if they're going to beat Philly. That's what
he's going to be 300 with 3 tutters. Do the 3 wide receivers I just went through not have to? He's going to do it all to Tucker Kraft and Luke Musgrave and Josh Jacobs?
And Malik Heath and Bo Melton. Yeah, I don't.
Emmanuel Wilson.
I'm not sitting here saying, well, it's got to be Jaden Reed for $120. I don't care. Like we have established this isn't J.R. Ewing's show. We are now in the maybe Gunther has to make a cup of coffee, go out and make a play.
Maybe who the hell is Gunther?
Maybe Gunther's Malik Heath. Janice.
No, who's Gunther? Oh, from Fred's the coffee guy?
We don't know the reference.
You're not.
He works at Central Perk.
You're not talking about the Central cast. We have one guy that's out. He's injured. We have another guy that's been sick and he hasn't been able to play. You need guys to step up. If you don't get a surprise,
Brad Pitt and Tom Selleck in guest appearances.
Tom Selleck would have probably been better, but Gunther's been around longer. I think one of those guys has to elevate. It doesn't need to be Romeo Doubs and Jaden Reed 100+. It can be spread it around.
Okay, get out of here. They're not. He's not throwing for 303 touchdowns if the three guys I mentioned aren't productive and aren't open. He's just not.
Productive is 30, 40 yards with these guys. I'm saying if you're expecting them to have a Jerry Rice type day, 150, it ain't going to happen more than likely.
They don't. No, that's why I said all three.
Thumbs up. Look at that.
I have a different finger emoji for you right now.
AI says, "Oh, T's knowing what he's talking about there, boy."
Yeah, okay. I will play along with this ridiculousness and stay on the offensive side of the ball. And Luke Musgrave and Tucker Kraft do have to have big days. They have to be productive. Now, that doesn't mean 150 and 2 tutters. But the passing game, I have a sneaking suspicion that Vic Fangio has looked at the film of this team and said, we're not letting Josh Jacobs kick our ass. Yeah. We're just not doing it. And so how does that play out if that's the case? We're going to have to wait and see. But say what you will, I still don't know how the quarterback gets to 300 yards without those 3 wide receivers being more productive than just 40 yards for each of them.
If those 3 guys get to 100, it's doable. It's doable.
And the other 200 yards are coming from Tucker Kraft,
Jacobs, Wilson, Tucker, Musgrave, Heath.
And Bo's got a 50-yard touchdown catch. All right, maybe.
Gunther has a big play. Those guys are going to be big play guys.
Stop saying Gunther. No one knows who that. I thought it was Ladarius Gunter covering Julio Jones.
Bad playoff memories there with Gunther.
Gunter.
Tell us about Fortria so we can play trivia.
Now, if you're looking to get a cup of coffee at Central Perk and you want to get a little extra cash, Fortria's got you covered. A couple of different studies. Healthy men ages 18 to 60, BMI 18 to 32. Study is 1 stay, 16 nights in a follow-up, and you can grab $8,075 for your time and participation. Another study, healthy adults ages 18 to 60. Women can be of childbearing potential, BMI 18.5 to 30. Study is 1 stay of 11 nights. You can grab $7,104 on your way out. FortriaClinicalTrials.com. That's Fortria, Fortrea, clinicaltrials.com.
Time for trivia. The Packers are the 7 seed going to Philadelphia. The category is the Philly Special, so caller 7 right now, since we're running behind schedule. Caller 7, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. We'll play trivia next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Summer will sound a little different on ESPN Madison next year.
Get up! Get up! Get out of here! Gone for Jackson Churio!
This is Madison's new home of the Milwaukee Brewers, 100.5 ESPN.
Mark Tosher here, and with Green Bay back in the playoff spotlight this weekend, I'm feeling good on this Feel Good Friday on Wilde and Tausch, painted by Home and Lindsay Paints. Because of playoff football, maybe this isn't the best weekend to start your next paint project, but when you are ready for some bold new colors for your home, like green and gold, do what my family did and trust Home and Lindsay's Pro Painters to get the job done right. Choosing the pros is the way to go. All you have to do to get connected with them is stop into any of Home and Lindsay's Madison area locations and ask. They'll help find the Pro Painters best suited for what you need. And remember, Home and Lindsay's paint is the one paint you can trust to withstand the challenges of Wisconsin's weather year-round. Wisconsin's best painters use Wisconsin's best paint, and Wisconsin's best painters are the Pro Painters at Home and Lindsay Paints. Home and Lindsay, great paint, great people, and stick around for Feel Good Friday coming up to close out today's show, painted by Home and Lindsay Paints.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com. Love Madison Volleyball makes its inaugural debut Friday evening. The pro women's roster includes Olympians, medalists, and former Badger stars. Founding athlete Lauren Carlini on why the Cap City is the place for this team.
They love their volleyball, they love their sports, and so being able to bring a professional team to them, this is something they've earned, right, over the years. For as long as they've been Badger fans and supporting us and seeing that growth and the potential, there's a reason why they chose this market and why love is here. Really looking forward to feeling that support that we've had now for many years.
Love Madison facing Austin, 4:30 first serve on ESPN+.
Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years at PellaWI.com.
As a bull rider, I prefer to do things single-handedly. That's why I love the UW Credit Union app. Doggy! It lets me check accounts, make transfers and more on the go. And if I might need an extra hand, UW Credit Union has convenient local branches. Yippee! So, if you want simple mobile banking, mosey on over to UW Credit Union. They're here for every y'all. Federally insured by NCUA.
Dog, I can't remember a game that was this good.
Yeah, you know what else would be great right now? Some food from the Great Dane.
I know, but we can't go right now.
Good news! The Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company is available on DoorDash and Uber Eats. Stay in the game with the full menu delivered from the Great Dane closest to you. Downtown, Hilldale, Fitchburg, or East Madison. Order today with DoorDash and Uber Eats or on thegreatdanepub.com. Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's original brew pub since 1994.
Life's busy, and Quick Trip gets it. Whether you're grabbing fresh coffee, a bakery treat, or a quick meal, Quick Trip is your go-to for quality and fast service. From clean restrooms to fresh groceries, easy meal options, and guaranteed fuel, we make your day easier. Plus, enjoy perks like free ATMs, free air for your tires, and sweet rewards with the Quick Rewards program. Everything you need in one stop, and always a friendly, see you next time, Quick Trip, where your day gets easier and better.
And that was my mindset all year. Involve Giannis every single day.
Gruber Law Offices presents Thanalysis.
There've never been another person like me.
A podcast from Thanasis Antetokounmpo.
So why would I try to change?
Also supported by Carbless, premium ready-to-drink cocktails.
I just got to involve Giannis.
And Potawatomi Casino Hotel in Milwaukee.
There've never been another Giannis throughout the history of the game.
Subscribe on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, it's Hunter Vaughn. ESPN Madison and Zimbrick Honda are celebrating the area's best high school sports stories with the Game Changers of the Month. Follow ESPN Madison on social media to see teams making an impact in their community. Nominate your local team today at ESPNMadisonGameChangers.com.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
I say go, baby, go, go, go.
Let's write the trivia. Let's welcome in our contestant. Boy, I hope it's not Vinny from Wisconsin's Morning News, because I don't think he's eligible. It is
he
Vinny.
would not be eligible?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know. I'd have to check with the rules aficionado, Jesse.
ESPNWisconsinContest.com for official rules. Vince Vetrano of Wisconsin's Morning News would not be eligible to win Wilde and Tausch.
Jesse, quick question. We had this come up when you were off Wednesday. Double trivia. Can they talk to the other player on the line for a phone a friend? Is that allowable if we continue to do double day trivia?
Your answer sooner rather than later would be preferred.
I'd go no, because that would be an unfair advantage. We don't like competitive
They're helping
advantages.
a competitor.
Yeah, we don't like competitive. Well, but then there's sabotage involved. I would just say let's not do that.
Doesn't that make for better drama?
It does. You're right. But I'd rather let Illinois people win first, so I'm working on that still.
Okay.
All right, well, I'd really rather for Vinny in West Dallas, as a first-time contestant, can have success today. Vinny, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Doing well. How are you guys?
We are great. Philly special is the category. Old T, am I doing all these?
Nope, I got it. All right, Vinny. Which series of iconic sports movies is based in Philadelphia? Is it Rocky, Major League, or last week's hit video, The 60-Yard Line?
I'll have to go with Rocky.
That would be correct. Nice.
Close, though. That was a close one. I'm surprised you got it right. All right, question 2.
The prequel, the 50-yard line.
I still don't know how none of you idiots knew that it was not our fans, you two. It was labeled on the Dropbox, 60-yard line. You guys thought it was Sandlot? I'm still amazed.
I never saw the Dropbox, and also, Jesse, the prequel to the 60-yard line is not the 50-yard line. The prequel is 4th and 26. Question 2 would be this.
That's rude.
No, it's not. You're a jack. Go on. You're a total jack.
Of all weeks, you want to bring that up today?
What a J-Wag. You're a J-Wag. Put J-Wag down under there. My bad, Vinny. I didn't mean to bring the thing. Jason just J-wagged it. Go ahead.
Yeah, that hurt a little bit.
Not as much as it hurt Tausch. Question number 2 is this. In which year did the U.S. Capitol officially change from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania to Washington, D.C.?
Good question.
Was it in 1776, 1800, or 1865, J-Wag?
I do not know this answer. Let's go 1776. Why not?
1800. 1800, the correct answer.
Tough question, but informative, and you know I love that about trivia. All right, Vinny, let's get this last one. World Population Review ranks Philadelphia as the 6th largest city by population in the U.S. in 2024. Which of these cities is ranked ahead of Philadelphia with a higher population? Is it Phoenix, San Antonio, or Denver?
Denver. How about Phoenix?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well done, Vinny. So you end up with 2 out of 3. That means you got 3 of the possible 4 entries into our drawing later in the show. Thanks for playing, buddy. We appreciate you.
Appreciate it. Go, Pack, go.
Amen.
The 10 o'clock hour begins with our prize picks for the weekend. That starts in 2 minutes, so stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Mark Tauscher here, introducing Pizza Hut's original stuffed crust and wings bundle. A large one-topping stuffed crust pizza and 16 boneless wings with 2 dips, and all for just $19.99. Pizza Hut is home to the original stuffed crust pizza, topped and stuffed with over a half pound of delicious, melty cheese. And Pizza Hut's boneless wings are sauced and tossed to perfection and delivered hot directly to you. Order on the app or order online at pizzahut.com. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
This is Monte Ball.
Montage steps to the right, dashes, reaches, touchdown.
You listen to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson, Sports Center, brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out, 220 State Street and online at goodmansjewelers.com. It's Wild Card Weekend. The Green Bay Packers, the 7th seed in the NFC playoffs, visiting the 2-seed Philadelphia Eagles. Week 1 of the playoffs, a rematch of Week 1 of the NFL's regular season in Brazil. Kickoff is set for 3:30 Sunday afternoon, nationally televised on Fox. The Packers now listed as 5-point underdogs, according to ESPN Bet. All you need to get set for Packers-Eagles all day long right here on 100.5 ESPN. Wilde and Tausch continuing until noon with ESPN Packers reporter Rob Demovsky scheduled to appear at 10:30. Mr. Irrelevant live video streaming at 12:30 with Alex Strofe on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Kyle Bruston-Nortman from 2 to 4. Jim, Matt, and Molly 4 to 5:30 today. At 5:30, we'll join coverage of the Milwaukee Bucks on the road. Big game visiting the Orlando Magic. Tick time is set for 6 o'clock. And after Bucks Magic wraps up tonight on 100.5 ESPN, we'll join ESPN Radio's call of the Cotton Bowl, college football playoff semifinal, Ohio State and Texas.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
At the end of the day, they don't have enough blue-chip talent. There's not enough top-line talent on this roster to truly be one of the most feared in the NFC.
We're assuming 1 and 10 in the playoffs this year, right?
I don't know where I'm going.
In my heart of hearts, I think they're going to lose by double digits against Philly.
But I sure know where I've been.
Kind of a sloppy game all in all. Far too many miscues.
Every single game, we got to do better. Look in the mirror, Matt LaFleur.
And I've made up my mind.
Jordan Love is still not right. The message after the game was everybody was still together, not pointing fingers. You're doing that heading into the playoffs may not be the greatest sign.
Never seem to find what I'm looking for.
Jordan Love from last year is gone.
this guy, he still looks like a second-year player.
If the Packers can't win, I need to have an emotional investment in another team.
You know who all the pressure is on in this game?
Showtime, baby.
It ain't the Packers.
Love steps up. Wide open, Jaden Reed. Goodbye. Touchdown, Packers. 70 yards.
Touchdown, Wicks wide open. Green Bay takes the early lead. This isn't the plucky underdog story.
From the end zone. Intercepted. Taken away by Xavier McKinney.
Jacobs, he does not go down. Touchdown, Jacobs. Just another example of many of Josh Jacobs making people miss. Those curtains are coming open and the lights are going to come on and you're going to get exposed or you're going to showcase yourself.
New faces, a new team. Can't live on what we might have did last year against Cowboys.
Guys got to be dialed in and truly play each play as if it were your last.
Whoever wins this game Sunday is going to go to the Super Bowl.
We got to go out there and do it again.
Touchdown, Green Bay!
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins very late, but worth it. Your montages are really, really
He's a good
Jesse.
montage.
We give you
He's
a hard time around here, but they are fantastic. Hopefully, see why you got to do that? Can't you just take the compliment? You take a victory lap in the producer's room.
Parade wave. Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
that's you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Time now. Hopefully, your prize picks are just as good.
They have been lately. Big college basketball win the other night. 4 out of 5 on the college football game last. I'm reading these college football playoff games like a book, every one of them. This has been amazing. Let's see how we do with the Green Bay Packers and the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday. Prize picks of the week. Starting with Josh Jacobs on the ground. More or less than 70.5 rushing yards, Tausch. That's a tough one.
That's a great number.
God, they're good at these projections.
That's probably why they're good, and it's Jesse knows how to beat it. Well, Jesse, let me ask you, what are you going to do? I might just ride with Jesse.
Let's do it that way this week instead.
By the way, last week when I said I felt good about these with you and Bulaga, I think I went 4 out of 5 on those as well. So that was another winning day. I would take less on Josh Jacobs' rushing yards based on what you said earlier. Vic Fangio's no idiot. And he knows the Packers are going to want to control time of possession and run the football effectively. So they're going to do everything to take Josh Jacobs away running the football. So I think it's going to be an air venture for the Packers on Sunday to try to win the game against the Eagles.
An air venture.
I am going to say more. I think more. And this is a sneaky reason why. Well, I'm shooting straight with you guys.
Uh-huh.
I think the fact that Bo Melton is going to be in the game more on some of these outside runs and crack blocking and bringing in, to go dig out the most dangerous guy. He's a pretty good blocker. I think he's going to get that opportunity to bust one where you get Josh Jacobs doesn't let anybody. He doesn't let the first guy get him. So if you all of a sudden have a wide receiver that's physical, that's Alan Lazardish, go in there, dig guys out. Let's go do it.
Don't you mean Malik Heath?
Either one. Both of those guys. Get them in there. They're going to have to go in. Let's see them compete. And I think you're going to see. I saw some clips of Bo Melton digging guys out. I saw clips of Malik Heath going. I think you're going to see the more physical wideouts. These guys that don't get a ton of reps and aren't, in there thinking I'm bummed that I'm not getting a pass, which not saying these other guys aren't willing blockers, but there's a difference. We know that. Let's go see what happens.
I'm going to go less.
Next. Jason and I are on the same page. Let's go to those receivers then.
Yeah, it'd be great if we did. I mean, not for Jesse.
What do you care? Yeah, you don't. You don't turn your sports opinions into real cash. You hedge and hem and haw.
I don't.
And then say, well, I thought this might happen.
And then I act like a J-wag. Next.
I turn my sports opinions into cash, and then I buy things with that cash. I turn my sports opinions into property.
When you start bringing up all of from either me or Bulaga, when you bring up like the Seattle Day and 4th and 26, I got a new little wrinkle. I'm firing back at you. So I'm excited when you do this again. I'm going to fire some stuff. I'm going to bring some low moments in your professional career up. So continue. Go ahead, Jess.
Jaden Reed and Romeo Doubs are both listed at 4 receptions on the dot. 4 for Jaden Reed or Romeo Doubs. Do you feel good about either of those going either way on it, Tausch?
God, Jaden Reed, I just don't know. I don't know with Jaden Reed. I'm not touching the Jaden Reed projection. Not touching it. Romeo Doubs is more. He's going to be fresh. He is kind of Jordan's guy. That's where he leans when the money's on the table. I think he's going to get more than 4. I like more with Romeo.
Well, from what I understand, none of those 3 top wide receivers are going to have productive games, so I'm going to go less for everyone.
No, they're not going to have monster days, is what I said. Don't misrepresent me. I said monster days. Come on.
Saquon.
How about Penn State last night? You don't have one receiver catch a pass?
Would have been nice.
What a joke. What a joke. Dream fulfilled, am I right, Hunter? Got Notre Dame with that big win. I bet he slept good last night with that dream.
Heck of a game, though. That was a fun game.
Fun game, absolutely.
Saquon Barkley had a monster day against the Packers in the opener in Brazil. How about more or less for Saquon Barkley? 118.5 rushing and receiving yards combined. 118.5, more or less, old T. I'm leaning less on it. I think in the playoffs, typically you go less in the opening round. I think the Packers will have a plan in place for him this time.
Agree with you, less. I think this is, I feel like this is going to be a lower scoring game than people feel. I think both teams are going to be a little nervy. I think both teams are going to struggle a little bit with third down conversions. I'm going less too. I think the Packers figured some things out, and I'm more nervous that there's going to be some big plays against them because they're going to be selling out to stop, the run game, and I think they will slow Saquon down this weekend.
More next.
My new favorite category: Brandon McManus and Jake Elliott. More or less than the longest made field goal, 47.5 yards.
Well, after last weekend, you have to think more.
I like more in this one. They're both good kickers, playoff proven.
Yeah, I saw Elliott.
Going to be a tight game.
He missed a 33-yarder in practice the other day. He might be feeling a little nervy, if you will. McManus is a stud. One of those guys will hit it. I still think with McManus, if it's 1.5, which is usually where his prize pick projection's at, I've had very good success going more on that for a bunch of this season. So I like where your head's at on that 47. You're going to see a long kick, couple of long kick opportunities, maybe even to finish a game off. I like more on that as well.
I am as well in on that. And, of course, now that I am, we'll see what Brandon McManus does. He's missed one kick all season since he arrived.
Sunday article?
With the Packers. No, I'm really excited about my Sunday article.
Who is it?
And I hope you can read it. Well, I'll tell you later. We got to get back
Jeff
on.
Hafley.
No,
Jeff
not
Hafley.
Jeff Hafley, although he is part of the story. I'll tell you a little bit about that later in the show. We need to get to Rob Demovsky, but only after Old T tells us about how fun it is to turn your sports opinions into profit with Prize Picks.
Well, there's over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports fun. Listen, Jesse has his sports opinions. He's been nailing the college football playoffs, so he claims, winning big. We just went over a bunch. I like Saquon less this weekend than the 117. I like McManus with more than 1.5 field goals made. I'm not sure on Josh Jacobs. I'll have to think on that. I'm going to look at, I don't even know what Jordan Love's numbers are, but that's what's fun. You can turn your sports opinions into real cash, and Prize Picks is the place to do it. You can win up to 1,000 times your money on Prize Picks. It offers MasterCard for quick and easy deposits into your account this sports season. Prize Picks gives you that opportunity. Simple, 60 seconds, and you can turn those opinions into real cash. Download the app today. Use code WI. You get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, download the app today and use code WI to get $50 instantly after you play that first $5 lineup. Prize Picks.
Oh, today I get to participate?
Yeah, today
Run.
I'm more focused. Prize Picks.
Run.
Your
game.
Henderson, more rushing yards tonight. Ohio
William
State.
Henderson?
Now, Travion, more. Texas can't stop the run.
Hook 'em horns. Our Steinhof sleepers of the week. which somehow Malik Willis didn't win last week, are next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Toscher here for Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie. Well, are you thinking a new vehicle or even some vehicle maintenance would help kickstart your new year? Well, then get in touch with the great team at Zimbrick Chevrolet, the name you can trust. When it comes to safe winter driving, the place to prepare is not on the side of the road, it's at Zimbrick Chevrolet. As you're hitting the road for football watch parties or snowy weekend adventures, make sure your vehicle is ready to take on the Wisconsin winter. Get a tune-up. If your car is due for scheduled maintenance or just needs a tune-up, do it now. Certain parts are damaged, like the water pump, hoses, belts. They could unexpectedly leave you stranded. Check the battery. Cold temperatures reduce a battery storage capacity, and the more frigid the temperature, the more power your engine needs to start. Zimbrick Chevrolet can install a new battery in minutes. Some more winter driving advice? Check your tires, change your oil, and keep your gas tank full. Make sure your vehicle is ready for the winter roads. Call to schedule an appointment with the great team at Zimbrick Chevrolet on Main Street in Sun Prairie or online at ZimbrickChevrolet.com. Zimbrick Chevrolet, the name you can trust.
It's a new era for Wisconsin football fans.
I want the offense to look like it knows what it's doing. It doesn't look like someone just picked up the controllers and was learning a playbook while they're trying to play the game.
Taking the conversation digital with the Jump Around 3.0.
Let's say they're averaging 200 rushing yards a game, then the passing game's just not clicking. We're going to feel good about it. Metaphorically in football, they're trying to learn to crawl before they can walk and then run again offensively.
The Jump Around with Jim Rutledge, streaming live every Thursday at 12:30 on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Looking for the most popular answer. What's the worst thing about Wisconsin winters? Gina Della from Pella.
Finding a sitter when snow closes school. Yay! It's the time of the year when we just want to be all warm and snuggly at home. And Pella helps make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. With inviting doors to let friends and family in and beautiful energy-efficient windows to keep the cold out. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Hello, I'm John Hayes, the owner of Goodman's Jewelers. It's been my pleasure to serve this community from this incredible store for over 4 decades. We stand upon high standards and classic traditions, pillars like honesty and integrity. Stop into Goodman's Jewelers, the longest-standing full-service jewelry store in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
Football season. Best time of the year and my favorite time of the year. This is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman. On game days, my favorite teammate is a cold carbless in my hand. Premium cocktails in a can made right here in the great state of Wisconsin. Maybe it's when I'm at the tailgate ahead of kickoff or getting ready at home for the game. Carbless is there. 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and gluten-free. Carbless features classic cocktails like margarita, Paloma, and even Moscow Mule, and vodka cocktail flavors like cranberry, lemon, and peach. Find it on your next grocery trip. Carbless. Less is more.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Give me one reason to steer, and I'll turn right back around. Give me one reason to steer, and I'll turn right back around.
Time for our Steinhoffel Sleepers of the Week. We're going to go a little fast here, like the Bears at the end of the game on Sunday, so we can get to Rob Demovsky on time. I want to remind you Start the new year off right with a new room from Steinhofels. I know we're planning on doing that with our what used to be the girls' playroom and turning that into more of a teenage hangout room. And Steinhofel's is going to help us do it. Find amazing deals on something for every space. Bedroom, dining, living room, and more. Something for every style and every budget, which is certainly important to Paula and I. And with Steinhofel's 18-month 0% financing, your new room just got even more affordable. Plus, when you spend over $1,999, you'll get a $100 University Bookstore gift card. And I've got my eye on this old school hoodie that they have brought back from when I was a student. I want to get one of those at the bookstore. I think it's $75, so I'd have a little left over. Shop in-store and online at steinhofels.com. Time for our Steinhofel Sleepers of the Week.
Don't sleep, you gotta stay up.
Hey there, sleepyhead. Wakey, wakey. Okay, campers, rise and shine. It's time for the Steinhoffel Sleepers of the Week on WILDE and Tausch.
All right, old boy. You won the championship.
Good win for Old T. 9 in a row. Like the Bulls,
yes,
3 times over. Three three-peats.
Kim Jong-Tausch and his 18 holes in one on his golf round, which the reference didn't make sense then.
It's funny. While I didn't Google or put anything in about it, you know what showed up on my feed yesterday? Kim Jong-un, 11 holes in one in an 18-hole match. You tell me that ain't crazy?
Your phone's listening to you.
Hey, we don't know what this world's hitting us with, but it's coming. Let's just be aware, make sure we're ready for it. Just like the Philadelphia Eagles should be ready for playoff B, playoff Bo. I said it yesterday. I thought Musgrave, because I think Musgrave is going to need to be good, but I'm rolling with my guy. Big, bad playoff. Bo Melton is my Steinhoffel Sleeper of the Week.
It's a great choice, and it's an actual sleeper since he only caught 8 passes all season. Really good choice. Jesse, who you got?
Devontae Wyatt has 3 fumble recoveries in his career. One of them was in the opener against the Eagles back in Brazil. I'm going to go with Devontae Wyatt, hoping for a big defensive play to help propel the Packers this weekend.
All right, it doesn't matter what the standings are because Tausch will claim victory no matter what. Well, so
the standings are what they are, guys. I didn't run the standings this year.
We're aware. Greatest boss ever. The best
Thanks,
boss.
guys.
God, we're so lucky to have you as a boss, says the 565 analytics crew. So since I'm going to call the biggest shot in Steinhoffel's Sleeper of the Week history.
Whoa.
Because I'm not even sure he'll play on defense unless there's an injury.
Oh, I thought you were going Malik Willis. That would have been bold.
Well, I went Malik Willis last week. He played. He completed a 41-yard pass to Malik Heath, and he led them to the lead after they were trailing when he replaced Jordan Love, and yet he wasn't the winner.
He took second.
No,
he took second.
He did. He did, didn't he? Quite the operation.
As chairman of the WILDE and Tausch Rules Committee, we will address the judging of the Sleepers of the Week in the offseason and reassess for next year.
Right after I take over the headlines, as I've been told, because the movies weren't as popular as the songs, which everyone agrees on, but I'm the bad guy. Anyway.
True. On all
this
accounts.
guy has not intercepted a pass or broken one up since the Carter administration.
This isn't that big. Come on.
Eric Stokes with an interception of Jalen Hurts. He's not even in their nickel.
Okay. All the times
the big poo-pooer. The big poo-pooer.
He's a first-round pick. Okay.
I'm not bold.
I mean, if you hadn't made this big proclamation, I'd be like, oh, it's interesting. But the fact you said the biggest in the 9-year history of the Sleepers, like, no, it's not. It's just not. It's not. It's not. It's not.
Rob Demovsky joins us next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Hi, this is Wayne Larrabee for Steinhoffels. Steinhoffels is partnering with Special Spaces Wisconsin and the Green Bay Packers to create dream bedrooms for children battling cancer all across Wisconsin. This season, every time the Packers make a field goal, Steinhofels will donate $1,000 to Special Spaces Wisconsin. Steinhofels has been Wisconsin's furniture and mattress leader since 1934, is 100% employee-owned, and is a proud partner of the Green Bay Packers.
Hold your friends close and your rivals closer on Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Molly, thank you so much for hopping on. You obviously have carte blanche to join the show whenever. Now, Evan Cohen did think that you might actually be on the show more during your maternity leave than Matt Hamilton will be on during the same time.
Okay. I'll take the challenge.
Molly,
okay.
We want you to be better and rested and ready to get back, and I don't want to lose this.
Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Weekdays 4 to 6 on 100.5 ESPN.
Mark Tusher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Life's better with American Family Insurance. Because whether it's a family road trip in your dream car or hosting a family reunion in your dream home, we help you feel protected so you can enjoy those dreams with peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
At UW Credit Union, our home loans have everything you need for your next big step, including up to $750 off closing costs for all home buyers. And first-time buyers can save even more. So if you're ready to trade roomies for more room, or your townhome for an out-of-town home, UW Credit Union will be with you from start to furnished. UW Credit Union. Apply online today. Equal housing lender. Credit may be limited as required by program. Visit uwcu.org for details.
You're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. Jim Rutledge here. What is a better buying experience? Well, that's the thing. You get to define it. It is the experience that is customized to you. What experience do you want at a car dealership? They can be your trusted friend or your trusted expert. So if you're in the market for a new or new-to-you Silverado, Colorado, Blazer, Trailblazer, remember, you're only minutes away from a better buying experience. And that's at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. GRB Academy offers training programs for players of all ages and skill levels. Learn from some of the best baseball coaches in the area and find the program that fits your training goals and your schedule. Spots are filling up fast, so visit grbacademy.com to sign up now. That's grbacademy.com. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
We're on the Packers playoff push.
They are not the regular season juggernaut team that we've seen in the past.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
A lot of regular season juggernaut teams fell short of their goals.
This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
The time has come. It's our guy. It's Rob Demovsky. Rob, good morning. How are you?
What's going on, guys?
Oh, do you look nice today?
Somebody's got an ESPN hit today, don't they? Yeah, they do.
You are so good looking.
It's either that or it's 22 degrees in this office here, and I grabbed my sport coat out of the hanging bag here.
Yeah, but you ain't wearing a button-up if you're not going on TV. Like, who are we kidding?
Yeah.
Come on.
You got me, but it is freezing in here. Apparently, because there's not going to be another game here at Lambeau this year, they just decided to shut the heat off I guess. Yeah.
I've got a Boston College hoodie if you need to warm up a little bit. That doesn't fit me that well.
Wants that back.
How are you feeling about this team going to this game? Jesse made his montage. We hear you talking about how after the game, the messaging about there's no finger pointing, that's never a good sign. Obviously, Matt LaFleur did not particularly enjoy my or Pete Doherty, Sports Writer of the Year's questions about comparing last year's vibe to this year's vibe. What's your vibe on this team?
Yeah, I'm a big momentum guy. And they don't have
Matt LaFleur only believes in momentum when he has it.
Correct. Yeah, he's a big gut guy, as we heard earlier in the year.
Him and me both.
Yeah, well, but I could go somewhere with that, but the momentum thing is gone, right? I mean, it's missing. The fact that I heard that clip of me saying that they had to have this sort of guy speaking up, and the more I've thought about it, I don't think that's necessarily the greatest thing that you have to have that, but at least they're having it and not saying, oh, that last game didn't matter, and who cares that we didn't win that game, kind of a thing. So I do think you can look at that both ways, Jason. And I mean, I will say their head is not in the sand about how they're playing and how they're going into the playoffs. That they're not completely ignoring the fact that they are not going in with the kind of momentum that they would like. So what they do with that, that's up to them.
All right, Rob. So someone on Twitter just brought up an interesting question, I thought. And you look at this matchup and you're breaking it down and you're talking to your Philly beat folks. Where does Green Bay have an advantage in this matchup this weekend?
I think either Brust or Nortman or Kyle asked me that exact question. And in my mind, I was scrolling through the matchups. I'm not sure I came up with one. The only place I think that they have a distinct advantage. Hold on, hear me out on this.
No, I was acknowledging Jason because he's sitting there like, whoa.
That's what I just said like an hour ago.
Okay. Yeah. Didn't mean to interrupt you, Rob, but
the pressure is all on Philadelphia for a number of reasons. One, they're the higher seed. That's just a fact. Two, do you remember what it was like last year for Philly with the coach and the quarterback and how they collapsed late in the year? Now, obviously, they responded. Had a great regular season, but that means nothing to Philadelphia, to the organization, to the fans, maybe even to the coach and the quarterback if they don't take advantage and make a little bit of a run in the playoffs. So to me, the pressure is squarely on them, more so than maybe even it was last year on Dallas.
But there's no one matchup where you're like, oh, I like this better. The running game. Whose running game do you like better?
I mean, I like Saquon Barkley just because he's had a better year. I do think the Packers' offensive line is as good as the Eagles' offensive line, but is it better than the Eagles' defensive line? You know what I'm saying? Like, the Packers' offensive line is really, really, really good. But the Eagles' defensive line is better than the Packers' defensive line, and that's who the Eagles or the Packers' offensive line is going against. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
So Jalen Carter is,
he's a dog.
Like, that guy is a menace. And he does everything. Like, he plays, I think he plays like one of the highest percentages of defensive snaps of any defensive lineman in the league. And as we know, those guys rotate quite a bit. So the Packers don't have that. They don't have a Jalen Carter up there.
Rob, what do you think with Fangio? Obviously, Green Bay had success in Brazil moving the football, some big chunk plays. But how much better do you think Philly's defense is from where it was?
Right, but isn't that the Fangio way though? Right, like, and that's what the Packers tried to replicate with Joe Barry. Is we keep guys in front of us. We make them go 14, 15 plays down the field and hope they make a mistake, and we're not going to give up the big plays. And that's true. But I do think the Packers, even though they don't have their deep threat guy in Watson, maybe this isn't a game where he was going to have a big impact anyway, because that's what they're going to try to take away. So maybe the loss of Christian Watson in the short term isn't a killer in this game. And think about the way that they play, right? That's why Jaden Reed had such a big game. 4 for 138 and a receiving touchdown and 1 rushing touchdown in that game in week 1. And Jaden Reed, to me, is an interesting guy this week because he has said, I have not been a big part of the offense, not necessarily blaming anyone, but saying I haven't produced. He said this week, and the quote is, I'm trying to do everything I can to get myself back rolling. And I have that written down here because I'm going to use it on SportsCenter this afternoon. But to me, that's like a big guy in this.
You're a pro. You're a pro, Rob. Everybody knows that.
Jaden Reed told me.
Well, he didn't. He told the whole group. So
no one will know.
I can't pull he told me when he told everybody. But to me, he's a really interesting guy to watch this week because of both the fact that he had the big game against the Eagles in week 1, and he hasn't had one really since the 2-touchdown game against Miami in week 13. And even in that game, his numbers weren't big. He only had, I think, 3 catches for, I don't know, 40
Rob,
yards.
What's your explanation for that? Because we all thought he was going to be the definite number 1 guy.
Right.
Most catches. And I know
100 catches.
He ended up leading the team in but by all accounts, he did not have the season, even by him. He spoke to you exclusively and said that. Why did he not have that regular season that we hoped?
Well, anecdotally, and I don't have the statistical evidence to back this up, Tausch, but it sure seems like the last month or 6 weeks, they've just taken more deep shots down the field and just tried to, a little bit of chuck and duck. And sometimes that's okay with him, but he's not the number 1 deep threat guy, right? Like, you're more likely to go deep to Watson or Wicks, than you are to a slot receiver. So that could be part of it. The other part of it is sometimes play callers, they make it more complicated than it needs to be, and they outthink themselves sometimes. And Jaden Reed had 300-yard games this season, but they were all probably before the middle of November. So sometimes maybe these guys, and in this case I'm talking about Matt LaFleur and the guys making the game plan, sometimes they outthink themselves, and I wonder if that is a little bit of what happened with Jaden Reed here of late.
You wonder if he's Reggie Jackson. Maybe Jaden Reed's Reggie Jackson. Who knows?
Mr. October. Very clever.
Good. Nice job, Jason.
I'm glad I could help.
He doesn't wear 44. I think isn't Reggie Jackson wear 44?
Is there a 44 currently?
It was Henry Pearson in training camp.
Yeah, it was.
And there is no.
What number was Narvison? He had a funky number for a kicker, wasn't he? 44.
Yeah, he might have been 44.
I think Narvi was 44.
The Narv dog, indeed.
Speaking of Reggie Jackson was on the Angels and hit a home run in the game that I was the bat boy for the White Sox. My one day as a White Sox bat boy, Reggie Jackson.
Was Greg Luzinski around when you were a bat boy? Or is he too old?
Harold Baines?
It was 84.
Lamar Hoyt?
Definitely all those guys. I believe Richard Dotson was the starting pitcher the day that I went, and he got shelled early, and it was like a 13-10 game or something.
Fun.
Does this open the door for me to tweet out the photo?
Well, he's got the picture somewhere.
That's a photo for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rob, we asked before I turn this over to Jason as he's posting your photo, we asked this week, and I'd be curious your take. Jordan Love didn't have what was your expectations coming in? Did you expect him to continue where he finished? Did you expect him to have these dips? Do you think he regressed or progressed from where he finished last season this year?
I think the injuries in the first month of the season wrecked his ability to, put up a statistical year that would rival the way he finished last year. I also think that it's not the biggest surprise that maybe there was a slight regression in year 2 based on, the fact that, sometimes year 2, you think you almost get overconfident. You think you know more than you actually do because you did it last year. And I'm not saying that that's a conscious thing, but I do think that can happen. I don't think he's the first quarterback who's gone on to be really good quarterbacks that maybe had a little bit of a drop off in year 2. If I remember right, I think Favre had it. I think Favre's numbers were worse, and definitely his interception numbers, I believe, were worse in year 2 than in year one. Now I know year one he didn't start from week one. It was week 3 or 4. But I don't think that's necessarily like unusual, and I don't think it's cause for panic. I do think he had to battle through the injuries, and when you look at the receiver numbers, going back to Jaden Reed and the whole 100 catch thing, I mean, all those receivers' seasons statistically were wrecked by the way they played. Those 2 weeks that Love was out. I mean, they basically lost 2 games of production in terms of receiving numbers. So I do think everything's a little bit skewed by the way the year started. But I do think it's fair to say that he did, regressed or just didn't have the year that he had last year. That's absolutely fair.
Talking with former Chicago White Sox bat boy Rob Demovsky on Wilde and Tausch. I have located the photo. I'll get that posted momentarily.
I'm currently scrolling through my phone because I believe I discovered more photos than even the one that you have from the archives. But I can't. I have 3,975 photos on my phone, and I'm struggling to find them.
That's literally what my wife takes on one day of a vacation. I wish I was joking.
So, Rob, NFL and college football analyst Mark Tauscher said that Jordan Love, who you were just discussing, needs to have a 300-yard, 3-touchdown day on Sunday for the Packers to win. And then when I said that the big 3 that remain in the passing game from a wide receiver perspective, Wicks, Reed, and Dobbs need to be productive, he poo-pooed me. Are you putting it all on Tucker Kraft?
I love that Tucker Kraft guy. In terms of, I think I'm still going to say it. I think he could be option number 1. In a lot of cases. Mm-hmm. I do think though that if he has a 300-yard game, that could mean they were behind big, and it's garbage yards too. Some of Aaron's biggest passing numbers were losses, right? Just because they had to. And
play catch up.
McCarthy
Sure.
Where's Philly's rush D again? I just want to be reminded. What's Philly's rush defense ranking?
I believe they're in the close to the top
1.
10.
Yeah,
no, they're pass.
They are 1.
No, I think they're pass.
It won't take me more than a minute here to find it. Okay, rushing yards that's yards per rush. They are actually not all that high in yards per rush, which some people would tell you is a better measure than they're 9th in yards per rush, which is decent, not unbelievable. And then what we want, yards per game, right? That's what we want, rushing yards per game.
Well, my point is, and Rob, there's no doubt.
They have the number 1 pass defense, by the way.
When you have 400 and 450 yards passing, that usually means you're scrambling to keep up and to do that.
Yeah, they're 10th. They're 10th in rushing yards per game. So they're decent, but not impenetrable. But yes, you are right, Jason. They are number 1 in passing yards, fewest passing yards allowed per game at 174.2. Incidentally, the 2 of the next 3 teams in that category were very bad teams. Tennessee was 2nd, and the Jets were 4th. So maybe that stat doesn't mean it.
Back to Tucker Kraft, your expectations for what he can do in this game then?
Well, it's my expectations are that they should use him more in a number 1 option position, right? Like they always talk about who's the number 1 on this play or that play, and we never know that, right? Like there's no way we can know the progression. But to me, he should be higher in the progression than he's been. Or they should go to him when he is higher in the progression, is my point. I mean, I just think he's as dynamic a guy right now, maybe as they have, in terms of the ability to break tackles, the ability to get open. I think he has a lot of things that, maybe some guys have pieces of. I think he's got a lot of. Now, is he a burner? No, he's not. He's not just an absolute speed guy. But I think at this point, they got to find something to hang their hat on offensively, and maybe it's him.
All right, Rob. I know you got TV to do, and I'll see you over there for Friday availability. Bottom line it for us.
I don't have TV till after practice, so I'm going to go to practice and hustle up. I still can't find the other Bat Boy pictures, but I did find my mugshot from my column in my very first job, and I'm not sending this to you, but I'm going to show you.
Send it over. Come on, Rob.
That is my mugshot from my first column at the.
All right, you got to move it over.
Move it so we can see it.
Jesse's got you in a narrow window.
Oh, yeah. Okay. There we go.
Oh, wow.
Are you sure that's a column logo and not an arrest photo?
Can't you see the messenger? Right there.
My gosh. That's awesome. Sweet shades. Those are good-looking glasses.
Are those ones that change if you're indoors or outdoors?
Your mood? The mood changes?
Mark Daniels had those. Those are not. I did not have the Mark Daniels glasses.
You used to smoke back then, too, when you took that picture. So what happens? What do you think happens?
Really, can Green Bay pull this off, Rob? I think that's the question we want to know. Do you think they can do this?
I absolutely think they can, and it goes back to what we fired up, the pressure on Philadelphia. It would not surprise me one bit if the Packers win this game. Not one bit. Bill Barnwell, take it for what it's worth. He's one of our analytics guys. He crunches the numbers. He's not a reporter. He doesn't talk to people, but he does look at it analytically. He's got the Packers.
He's too busy writing novels every week.
Yeah,
75,000 word story.
It's a little bit long.
Does he get paid by the word or by the article? How does that work at ESPN?
I'm assuming he's got a big salary like I do.
Oh yeah, rich guys.
Yeah. He has the Packers winning 19-17. He has them beating the Lions. He has them going to the Super Bowl and losing to the Chiefs. So anybody wants to say, "Oh, no one's giving them a shot." At least one so-called national expert is giving them more than a shot.
All right. Well, speaking of giving a team a shot, the real important game is tonight. Ashwaubenon, De Pere, sold-out crowd at the Kowalczyk Arena, or whatever you guys call that over there.
Kowalczyk Court, yeah.
What happens tonight? Because, for those that don't know, Ashwaubenon has a Division I recruit. Alabama is where he's headed. Yep. You've seen him play. You've had some interactions with him. What are your expectations for tonight for the Redbirds and the Jaguars?
Well, I'll be sure to stay seated during the game.
I don't believe that for a second.
I don't want anybody to tell me to sit down, old man. But it's going to be a battle, man. Like it'll be fun. I just hope it stays clean because there's a little bit of high energy and maybe, I don't want to say bad blood between these two teams, but Ashwaubenon De Pere, it's probably as good a rivalry as there is in basketball since my kids have been in high school. So we shall see. There is a YouTuber, these YouTuber, Instagram, like film people are all the rage now. When we were down in Milwaukee for that tournament, I counted 13 cameras on the baseline and not local TV. They're all these younger YouTubers and they're filming. There's a guy coming to the game that has 483,000 followers on Instagram. Like why he's coming, I don't know. It's the Instagram account is strictly basketball, and the dude's got almost 500,000 followers. So that's more than me, you, Tauscher, and probably Bulaga combined.
Boom.
Will Ron Demovsky guard Amari Allen at any point during the ballgame?
That's a game plan question.
Yeah, don't be getting into that. What are you doing?
That sounds like a game plan question.
I didn't realize Rob was on the coaching staff. Totally my fault. All right, Rob, good luck on SportsCenter. Good luck tonight to the Redbirds, and we'll see you over at Lambeau Field in a little while. Thanks, buddy.
All right, sounds good, guys. We'll be seeing you.
That is Rob Demovsky.
I feel like Jason will be sitting in the cafeteria on his laptop writing articles like you were at the football game, sitting out on a porch.
Yeah, I will say this. I would like to go to that game tonight. We have a volleyball tournament that Sydney's in tomorrow, so I won't be able to go. We'll be traveling this evening instead. We'll discuss briefly our thoughts on what Rob's thoughts were next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
We're on the Packers playoff push.
The Green Bay Packers are still struggling to have an identity.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
Internally, I think Matt LaFleur is still trying to chase who he is going to be and what type of way he wants to coach.
This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Mark Tosher here for Pizza Hut, where the number 7 just got luckier. You already know how much I love Pizza Hut, but have you heard about Pizza Hut's $7 Deal Lovers menu? Enjoy all your Pizza Hut favorites like pizza, boneless wings, melts, cheese sticks, and more for just $7 each when you buy 2 or more. With the $7 Deal Lovers menu, you don't have to choose between great taste and great value. You can have them both. Order on the app or online at pizzahut.com. The $7 Deal Lovers menu, only at Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Steinhofels. Shop Tempur-Pedic mattresses at Steinhofels and get a Queen Tempur-Pedic mattress for just $48 per month when you use Steinhofels 60-month financing. Only at Steinhofels. Love Madison Volleyball makes its inaugural debut Friday evening. The pro women's roster includes Olympians, medalists, and former Badger stars. Founding athlete Lauren Carlini on why the Cap City is the place for this team.
They love their volleyball, they love their sports, and so being able to bring a professional team to them, this is something they've earned, right, over the years. For as long as they've been Badger fans and supporting us and seeing that growth and the potential, there's a reason why they chose this market and why love is here. Really looking forward to feeling that support that we've had now for many years.
Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years at PellaWI.com.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
Hey, it's Bobby Portis, and I love playing basketball in Milwaukee. When I drive down the lane, I move fast and make sudden moves to drive to the hoop and score. But when I'm behind the wheel in the driving lane, I control my drive. I don't speed or make sudden movements. Speeding and reckless driving are the leading causes of traffic injuries and deaths in Wisconsin. Do what I do. Control your drive. Don't speed. Don't be reckless. Zero in Wisconsin. Together we can save lives. Wisconsin DOT.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Trax.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV. Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
In sitcoms, when someone has a problem, they just blurt it out and move on.
Well, I lost my job and my parakeet is missing. How was your day?
But the real world is different. Managing life's challenges can be overwhelming. So, what do? We get support. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have mental health resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. See how much further you can go when you take care of your mental health.
Football season. Best time of the year and my favorite time of the year. This is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman. On game days, my favorite teammate is a cold carbless in my hand. Premium cocktails in a can made right here in the great state of Wisconsin. Maybe it's when I'm at the tailgate ahead of kickoff or getting ready at home for the game. Carbless is there. 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and gluten-free. Carbless features classic cocktails like margarita, Paloma, and even Moscow Mule, and vodka cocktail flavors like cranberry, lemon, and peach. Find it on your next grocery trip. Carbless. Less is more.
This is Madison's new home of Milwaukee Brewers baseball.
Churio, a high fly ball. Back, track, bye, baseball!
100.5 ESPN, your new home of the Milwaukee Brewers.
Thanks as always to Rob Demovsky, former White Sox bat boy. Sent me a few more of his photos, which are pretty awesome. Meanwhile, a little bit of breaking news from the NFL. Xavier McKinney is a first-team All-Pro.
Yeah, deserves it.
Not surprising with Kirby Joseph, since no players were voting in the All-Pro balloting.
Yeah, Kirby Joseph deserves it too. He's been a hell of a player for them.
So those are your All-Pros at the safety position.
Thank you, Joe Shane. Thank you.
Yeah, still hard to believe. By the way,
that guy kept his job is amazing to me.
Tausch's guy, Penny Sewell, also an All-Pro.
Yep.
And Quinn Miners, UW Whitewater alum.
Oh, Minerts. Okay. I don't think it's minor.
There's no T in Miners.
There's a TZ, isn't it, at the end of it?
It's Meinerz.
I thought there was a T.
I appreciate the correction, Jay
Well,
Watt.
I don't think he announces it like he's a coal miner, but I could be wrong.
I don't know about your leg, but mine hurts.
That's not bad. That's pretty good.
We've got a volleyball tournament to go to. You know where we'll be stopping during the drive. Of course, it'll be a Quick Trip.
Indeed. Oh, life is busy. And you know what? Quick Trip gets it. Whether you're craving fresh coffee, tasty bakery treat, a quick grab-and-go meal, or a snack, Quick Trip is your go-to. Variety and quality. Fast service. Quick Trip's team is all about making your day easier and better. Clean restrooms to fresh groceries and everything in between. You know what? They give you free air. Your tires need air. Go over there. They'll give it to you for free. But those aren't the only perks. You got bananas and jumbo onions and potatoes. 29 cents a pound. You can also get sausage links for $2.49. Block cheese, pizza, chicken, everything that you're looking for. It's cold out. Grab yourself a soup. Who doesn't like a good hot bowl of soup on a cold, wintry day? You can get a soup bag, $6.99. Everything you got, you can get at Quick. Download the app. Use that Quick Rewards app to order ahead for pickup, or you can go curbside. Quick Trip. We'll see you next time.
Per the Denver Broncos team website, Quinn Miners pronounces his name Miners.
Miners, not minors. Like children. Not that. Not coal mining. Miners.
No, that is what he's saying. It says
miners. I don't want to get in a fight. I don't want to fight you today.
It seems like you do, actually.
No, trust me, I don't.
The 11 o'clock hour, we'll sing Kumbaya. We'll get ready for Packers and Eagles. The 11 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Hi, this is former Badger Pro Football Hall of Famer Joe Thomas. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison. Good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson, Sports Center, brought to you by the College Football Postseason on ESPN Radio. The College Football Playoff semifinals continue tonight with the Goodyear Cotton Bowl. Ohio State and Texas. Winner gets Notre Dame in the national championship game. We'll join coverage of the Cotton Bowl in progress tonight around 8:30 here on 100.5 ESPN. Listen to the full game broadcast available on the ESPN app, ESPNradio.com. The Green Bay Packers, of course, getting ready for Wild Card Weekend Sunday afternoon, visiting the Philadelphia Eagles. Kickoff is set for 3:30, nationally televised on Fox. The Packers now listed as 5-point underdogs, according to ESPN Bet. All you need to get set for Packers-Eagles continuing from now until kickoff here on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Today, Wilde and Tausch until noon, Kyle Bruston Nortman 2 to 4, Jim, Matt, and Molly 4 to 5:30 before we join Bucks Magic. Plus, Green Bay Game Day from noon until 3:30 Sunday, getting you set right up until kickoff here on 100.5 ESPN. Wilde and Tausch continues now. ESPN Madison, the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
At the end of the day, they don't have enough blue-chip talent. There's not enough top-line talent on this roster to truly be one of the most feared in the NFC.
We're assuming 1-10 in the playoffs this year, right?
I don't know where I'm going.
In my heart of hearts, I think they're going to lose by double digits against Philly.
Kind of a sloppy game all in all. Far too many miscues.
Every single game, we got to do better. Look in the mirror, Matt LaFleur.
Jordan Love is still not right.
The message after the game was everybody was still together, not pointing fingers. You're doing that heading into the playoffs may not be the greatest sign.
Jordan Love from last year is gone. This guy, he still looks like a second-year player.
If the Packers can't win, I need to have an emotional investment in another team.
You know who all the pressure is on in this game?
Showtime, baby.
It ain't the Packers.
Love steps up. Wide open, Jaden Reed. Goodbye. Touchdown, Packers. 70 yards.
Touchdown, Wicks wide open. Green Bay takes the early lead.
This isn't the plucky underdog story.
Hurts from the end zone. Intercepted. Taken away by Xavier McKinney.
Jacobs, he does not go down. Touchdown, Jacobs.
Just another example of many of Josh Jacobs making people miss.
Those curtains are coming open and the lights are going to come on and you're going to get exposed or you're going to showcase yourself.
New faces, a new team. Can't live on what we might have did last year against Cowboys.
Guys got to be dialed in and truly play each play as if it were your last.
Whoever wins this game Sunday is going to go to the Super Bowl.
We got to go out there and do it again.
Touchdown, Green Bay.
On my own. Oh, Whitesnake bringing back the memories. As Johnny Montage gets us ready for Packers-Eagles Sunday in the NFC wild card round. Number 2 seed, number 7 seed. There's a path to victory. I don't think anybody's suggesting they can't win. At some point, are we going to get a prediction as to whether they will win from our resident NFL and Packers analyst?
Yeah, I always do it at headlines. Was this some surprise? It's what we do. So, yeah, 11, 20, whatever time we get to headlines, that's when my prediction will come.
Okay, we can't wait. We look forward to it.
Are we going to get a prediction from you?
Yeah, sure. I might not get a headline.
That doesn't sound
I know
convincing.
we're not getting a headline. You mailed that in September. So, yeah, I get it.
Except for the ones that I was assigned to do the videos
and you
for.
Complained and cried about. But, yes, that's fair. Those are all fair points.
I thought the dogs were really good. I really did. Some people disagree.
I do want Jesse's, whenever this season ends, I do want Jesse's power ranking of the videos on a Power Rankings Tuesday.
Here we go, assigning work again for other people.
Oh, I'm sorry that we all have to work. Oh, shoot. I'm sorry that I organized a collective that would put all this together, bring it, do all this, and I ask you guys to chip in, but I digress. Let's get to it. I don't want to fight with you guys, man. I'm not in the mood to fight today.
Did you just take credit for organizing?
Yes, I did.
The group that did all your work? Okay.
Would it have happened without me? The answer is no.
That's true.
Yeah, he's right.
Because there wouldn't be a show for them to do it for.
Bulaga would not be recruiting the same academy to help.
KVN. Yeah, exactly. Time now for the weekend preview.
Oh, guys, the greatest football weekend ever. Hot start last night with Notre Dame, Penn State. Fun game to kick off the greatest weekend of football ever. The college football playoff semifinals and the wild card round of the NFL playoffs. Here are the games, all standing on their own this weekend. Which one are you most compelled to tune into outside of Packers and Eagles? Starting tonight, the Cotton Bowl college football playoff semifinals, 6:30 on ESPN. Ohio State and Texas, essentially a home game for the Longhorns. NFL playoffs kick off tomorrow afternoon, 3:30. The Los Angeles Chargers and Jim Harbaugh and Oregon's finest, Justin Herbert, visiting C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans Invitational, the Saturday 3:30 Wild Card Weekend kickoff. It's tradition unlike any other.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday night, Al and Herbie on Amazon Prime have the call for the Steelers and the Ravens, streaming exclusively. 7 o'clock kickoff there for the AFC North rivalry game. Sunday, triple header, of course, Packers-Eagles at 3:30. Before Packers-Eagles, Broncos-Bills at noon on CBS. Commanders-Buccaneers is your Sunday night wild card game. That's a 7 o'clock. I think they're actually kicking at 7, a little earlier than usual on NBC and Peacock. And then Monday night, big news with this one yesterday. The game has been moved because of the wildfires in Los Angeles. The Vikings and the Rams in Arizona. They're playing at the home of the Cardinals. 7 o'clock Monday night on ABC and ESPN. Loaded weekend slate of football. Which one is most compelling to you, Tausch?
Philly, Green Bay, for sure, is the most compelling to me. That's the most compelling.
We have been doing this multiple years now.
Okay.
We intentionally always leave off the Badger football game and the Packer football game because it's the weekend preview for everything else because we spend all of our time on
know.
those.
Would you stop being so serious? I mean, you guys are picking fights with me today. There's a lot of great games. I think Ohio State trucks Texas tonight. I'm sick to. It's not a dream come true for Ohio State to do that. So I'm not uber. I mean, I'll be intrigued. I'll watch, but I'm not like uber. I think a sneaky good game is going to be Baltimore-Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's defense. Everybody's got Crown in Baltimore, and I'm one of them. I think Baltimore's got a great chance to go to the Super Bowl. But you just feel like they know each other well. Baltimore has not gotten over the hump with Lamar Jackson. The pressure, there is no team that has more pressure on them than Baltimore this weekend. Philly's probably a close second. That, to me, is going to be the game of the weekend. Saturday night with Al. And Al probably won't make it sound like it's that exciting, but it'll be exciting.
I'm really not looking forward to Ohio State winning tonight and then beating Notre Dame for the national championship. I was really hoping. I didn't care if Oregon won the national title, but I certainly wanted them to dispatch of Ohio State because I find them insufferable. I do not have any interest in that game. I will not get to see my guy Justin Herbert against the Texans. Will be at volleyball matches. The game that intrigues me out of the playoff slate, because I have been a Vikings believer on this show more so than others, and now I'm really curious. Obviously, there are tragic, horrible losses occurring in Los Angeles. I even exchanged messages last night with one resident of that area who lives in Malibu. His house has not been damaged yet, other than by winds, but there's fire all around, and it's really scary stuff. So football is clearly very much secondary. That said, I mean, you went to that playoff game at Lambeau Field during COVID. I don't think the Packers lose to Tom Brady if they have true home field advantage in the NFC Championship game. I just don't. I also don't think they lose if they have David Bakhtiari that day. On the flip side, because of this incredible tragedy in Southern California, the Los Angeles Rams, who got a home game, whether they deserve it or not, are playing in Arizona.
Their home field advantage sucks. We all know
maybe
that.
Not in a playoff game.
It would. No, it would. It would. No, it does. It's the biggest unadvantage of all time, but that's the way it is. Minnesota would have been 50% of that stadium. Now you're going to be dealing with Cardinal
You
fans
think the Vikings would have 50% of SoFi Stadium?
Yeah.
With a week to buy tickets? Yeah.
Yes.
I don't agree.
Well, you don't have to. I'm right. So check with the analytics firm. They'll tell
I don't
want
to fight, you J-Wad.
No, you're the one that started it.
Meanwhile, he started it. Is this what Diane and Denny had to deal with the three boys? Well, Pat started it. The Eagles have officially announced, by the way, Jalen Hurts is out of the concussion protocol.
Shocker.
Just want to let everybody know.
A.J. Brown's kind of an interesting deal, though. Let's keep monitoring that.
So anyway, my game of choice is Vikings-Rams. I'm intrigued to see what happens on Monday night.
That'll be a fun game. Vikings are going to lose.
I think Buccaneers-Commanders, and we're going to be reacting win or lose to the Packers game at that time, so it might take kind of a back seat. But that's a fun matchup because Tausch said early in the year when we were doing bring 'em or fling 'em, or that's a fun team. Tampa, that's a fun team. Washington became a fun team by year's end, and I'm wondering if they could actually go on a run because they're so young they don't know like the stakes, those kinds of teams that make deep playoff runs. I wonder if Jalen Daniels if he could lead them on that kind of run to Detroit or Philadelphia. It'd be interesting.
Okay.
That's it for the weekend preview. Tausch picking Packers-Eagles as the most compelling one on the list.
I bet I'd win that poll. You know what I mean?
I'll bet
I'd
you.
win. Okay, you're going to translate this over? Or you want me to? Because I bet I'd win the poll with cold beer, too. What you want to drink. Oh, that's right.
I bet Jason could have done it better.
All right, let's hear it. Let's hear it then, J-Wad. Coors Light, brewed with a 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered, and it's cold packaged, so it's made to chill. Make sure those mountains are blue. That's when you know your cans are chilled to perfection. That's why there's always Coors Light in my hand when I'm watching any of my favorite football games over the weekend. Suburb sponsored by Coors Brewing Company. I go then, Colorado.
The moment you've all been waiting for, possibly the final cinematic headline of the 24 season. Presented by Fleet Farm is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut, which I've loved going way back to when I was a kid participating in the legendary Book It program. And now here's a question. Do you get pizza or do you like wings? Well, at Pizza Hut, there's only one right answer. Both. Introducing Pizza Hut's original stuffed crust and wings bundle. Large one-topping stuffed crust pizza and 16 boneless wings with 2 dips, and it's all for just $19.99. Pizza Hut is home to the original stuffed crust pizza, topped and stuffed with over a half pound of delicious, melty cheese, and Pizza Hut's boneless wings. They are kitchen-fried and not oven-dried, sauced and tossed to perfection, and delivered hot directly to you. Pizza and wings or wings and pizza? The best deals have both. The unbeatable value of the stuffed crust and wings bundle is perfect to feed the whole crew on game day, family night, or any gathering. Order on the app or order online at pizzahut.com. The stuffed crust and wings bundle, only at Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
The issues that we're talking about are cultural with the Dallas Cowboys. And it starts with the head man, Jerry Jones. As they say, a fish rots from the head down. Jason Garrett couldn't overcome it. Bill Parcells couldn't overcome it. Wade Phillips couldn't overcome it.
Right.
You have all of these coaches who have done well in the NFL at other places can't overcome what Jerry Jones has put in place and set in motion.
Unsportsmanlike. Weekdays from 5 to 9 on 100.5 ESPN.
As a bull rider, I prefer to do things single-handedly. That's why I love the UW Credit Union app. Doggy! It lets me check accounts, make transfers and more on the go. And if I need an extra hand, UW Credit Union has convenient local branches. Yippee! So, if you want simple mobile banking, mosey on over to UW Credit Union. They're here for every y'all. Federally insured by NCUA.
Football season. Best time of the year and my favorite time of the year. This is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman. On game days, my favorite teammate is a cold carbless in my hand. Premium cocktails in a can made right here in the great state of Wisconsin. Maybe it's when I'm at the tailgate ahead of kickoff or getting ready at home for the game. Carbless is there. 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and gluten-free. Carbless features classic cocktails like margarita, Paloma, and even Moscow Mule, and vodka cocktail flavors like cranberry, lemon, and peach. Find it on your next grocery trip. Carbless. Less is more.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that American Family Insurance agents can help build a customized renter's policy so you can protect stuff like this, or even this. Well, case in point. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Metro Ford of Madison is Madison's trusted Ford dealership. Whether you're in the market for a new or new-to-you vehicle, Metro Ford of Madison has the customer service that's second to none. Metro Ford is also the home of the 2 years no-charge maintenance offer on new vehicle purchases, making it the place to go for the new Ford of your dreams. Browse their inventory, schedule a service, or see this month's offers at metrofordofmadison.com. That's metrofordofmadison.com.
Is your computer so slow you can hardly use it? Does it have blue screens, malware, viruses, reboots, hardware crashes? Sound familiar? Computers will have problems, and when they do, you need the computer experts at Madison Computer Works. Every day we help home users and businesses keep their computers and networks running smoothly. For solutions to your computer problems, call the pros at 231-8000, and we'll turn this into this. Madison Computer Works. Computers that work for you.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
I don't know what's going to happen on Sunday. But if the Packers don't beat the Eagles, this could be the final edition of Cinematic Headlines presented by Fleet Farm. A somber moment for those of us that have preferred it over the musical ones that were last year, that led to an entire album being released on Spotify. And so, without further ado, possibly the farewell voyage of the SS Tauscher Headline Academy movie headlines.
Field goals have killed us in the playoffs in years past. So here's what we're going to do. All right, we're going to use McManus as a decoy. And when you wheel in, when you get the ball, we're going to run the old picket fence. All right, let's go. What? What's the matter with you guys?
I'll make it.
All right, Orzik, get the ball to wheeling with a nice, clean snap.
Coach, where's your offense?
My team is on the field.
Wow, is that great? You know what? Best acting of the season. Right there. The only thing I was a little irritated, I didn't slap my little pocket handbook like Gene did in the movie. That's the only thing that I was a little upset with myself about.
Yeah, well, Gene Hackman had that as a playbook. You had it as a script.
True that. True that.
We're gonna run the picket fence at them.
In the playoffs in years past. So here's what we're going to do.
Hey, I never said I was Jerry Jones. I never once said that I was Jerry Jones.
God. Also, I don't want to nitpick.
Oh, God.
But was there a prediction in there anywhere?
No, I do the headline. How long have you been doing this? Oh, my God.
You've been doing it all season, and you have given scores in every video except that one.
Scores? No, that is not true. I do scores later. Come on now.
Packers 37, Saints 12.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, first off, for everybody that was playing, I don't think you're eligible. There's not the contest.
The contest has ended. We'll announce the winner in a week or two here. Yeah.
Do you know what movie that was, Jason?
The 60-yard line.
That was the ending. You missed it. A little low budget. Low budget. All right. Hoosiers. Hoosiers.
Yeah.
And that's where my headline comes. And Packer fans, I think we're going to be a little. Hickory Dickory Dock outran the Packers clock. Couldn't beat the ones. So now they're donezo. Hickory Dickory Dock. Philadelphia 28, Green Bay 22. Packers season ends in Philadelphia.
Wow.
It's going to change that Homer view.
Well,
have you ever picked the Packers to lose?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure I have. Yep.
Wow.
I'm not here to critique the rhyming.
I picked them to lose to San Francisco last year, boys.
Yeah.
I did pick them to beat Dallas.
You did?
So.
All right, there you have Tausch's headline. I concur with his prediction. 28-22, would that be a scoregami? I need a good scoregami for this one.
So we've seen LaFleur. He likes to get that game to 6 so that he can win with an extra point. That's why I picked 28-22.
Do you envision they're going to be down like 28-10 and have to come back and do that whole deal? Or
I think it's going to be like 28-14. They get the 2-pointer. That's kind of where I'm thinking. I think it's a tight game, and then Philly pulls away a little bit late. Green Bay scrambles, fight for it, and end up getting beat by 6.
All right. Jesse, are you picking them to win because you've got your slim-fitting Packers zip-up on today?
In my book, we're going to be
all winners.
Non-winners. Eagles fly too high. Packers hack up the game in Philadelphia. See what I did?
All right, well, hey.
Gene Hackman.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah.
What's Jason's?
Rims are too
Playoff
high.
time. Jason, what's your headline? Packers lose.
Make it a good one, Strap. Packers have limited prayer for beating Eagles in Philadelphia. I love Hoosiers. It is a great movie. It is funny to me that Gene Hackman thought he had ruined his career with that film and actually told Dennis Hopper, we'll be lucky to get another gig after this. This is going to be so bad. And instead, it turned out to be a beloved sports film. Hoosiers, worth your time if you're a young person who's never seen it. All right, what's the one thing that can happen that's going to flip our script? Because all three of us now said that we think they're going to lose. You talked about Jordan Love having a big 300-yard day. Is that the most important thing that has to happen?
Nope. I know I can't say this in the preview, but you have to turn Jalen Hurts over. His rust, his willingness to run the football, ball security. I don't know what the temp's going to be up there, but one of the things you always wonder as a team when you're coming back from a long layoff like he is, ball security outside of the pocket and ball security inside the pocket. That is going to be the key. If Green Bay's defense doesn't create, it's going to be a multiple amount. I don't think we're going to be uber efficient on offense this weekend. It's going to have to come from an improved defense making plays, and I just don't think they're going to be able to do it enough, and that's why I got him getting beat.
Yeah, we will see what happens. Again, that I did not expect them to be a Super Bowl team this year. I think they're a better team than they were a year ago, and we'll see if they are able to do what they did a year ago, even though Matt LaFleur doesn't like it when we compare seasons. Whoa, Nelly, my team is on the field, is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Jesse Nelson here to tell you about Madison Weight Loss, the program that I experienced from the middle of August to the middle of October of last year. Over 60 days, I was able to drop 40 pounds of unnecessary, unwanted fat, and all I had to do was change up my diet. The healthy, natural approach to weight loss. That's what they do at Madison Weight Loss. And if you want to see how they could help you achieve your weight loss goals in 2025, obviously we've turned the calendar to the new year, and maybe you started a weight loss program already in the first 10 days of this year, and you're like, that's not really working for for me. It's not going to be sustainable long term. What can you do to achieve those goals? Well, the way that worked best for me after failing in many other capacities was getting in touch with the team at Madison Weight Loss. They put together a program. They have this expert coaching and guidance that's able to help you with every step along the way, and it was the most effective, natural, healthy way that I was able to drop 40 pounds, almost a pound a day. Contact the team for a free consultation, in person or virtually, at MadisonWeightLoss.com. That's MadisonWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau.
There's always pressure. You got to find ways to deal with that pressure and handle it as best you can to be the best.
This is your Green and Gold Fix on 100.5 ESPN.
Obviously, there's going to be things that turn up along the way. You got to be able to adjust.
This Green and Gold Fix is driven by Metro Ford.
Well, it all comes down to this. Wild card weekend. Packers at Eagles. Win or go home. The Philadelphia Eagles, 14-3 this season, are the number 2 seed in the NFC. They are listed as 4.5-point favorites according to ESPN Bet. The Packers, 11-6, good for only the 7th seed in the NFC, as the Packers took 3rd place in the toughest division in all of football. In a rematch of the season opener, which took place on September 6th, in which the Eagles won 34-29, the winner will move on to the NFC divisional round next weekend. Go Pack, go! I'm Alex Strope.
Purchase, finance, or service a new or pre-owned Ford at Metro Ford of Madison on the east side today.
Looking for the most popular answer. What's the worst thing about Wisconsin winters? Gina Della from Pella.
Finding a sitter when snow closes school. Yay! It's the time of the year when we just want to be all warm and snuggly at home. And Pella helps make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside, with inviting doors to let friends and family in and beautiful, energy-efficient windows to keep the cold out. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply.
Do you want to have more fun watching the NFL playoffs? Try playing Sleeper Picks. Just download the Sleeper app today and pick more or less on at least 2 players' projected stats. You can win up to 100 times your cash. For a limited time, Sleeper has a special offer. New users have to just play $5 and they'll receive $55 in free entries. Just download the Sleeper app today and use code BRAD, B-R-A-D. Must be 18 years or older. Promo code, location, and other restrictions apply. Minimum deposit $25. See terms of use for details. Please play responsibly. Call 1-800-426-2537 for help.
LabCorp Clinical Trials is changing to a new name, Fortrea. While the name may be different, Fortrea combines decades of great experience and professionalism with new opportunities for clinical trial participation. It's more than a mission and more than a new name. Fortrea is dedicated to moving healthcare forward. To learn more about the future of healthcare and upcoming clinical trials, visit us at FortreaClinicalTrials.com. That's Fortrea clinicaltrials.com.
As a bull rider, I prefer to do things single-handedly. That's why I love the UW Credit Union app. Doggy! It lets me check accounts, make transfers and more on the go. And if I need an extra hand, UW Credit Union has convenient local branches. Yippee! So, if you want simple mobile banking, mosey on over to UW Credit Union. They're here for every y'all. Federally insured by NCUA.
Watch every ESPN Madison show live every day. Subscribe to ESPN Madison on YouTube for live video of every show and exclusive content. Just search ESPN Madison.
Jesse, before we play some Whoa Nelly, we need to pick a trivia winner for this week.
A lot of chips in the cheese fry helmet here. A lot of chips to choose from. Couple of first-time contestants this week. I have selected our number, and it is Steve in East Troy from Wednesday's Double Wisconsin Geography Wednesday with Hunter Vaughn. Nicely done. Steve in East Troy, you're the big winner.
Retired police officer Steve in East Troy, who I got a text from the Honorable Judge Mike Cotter, who the chief of police in East Troy is also a big fan of our show. we got to hear that.
We're big in East Troy. That might be the new West Bend.
Troy. Also big at Elkhorn.
It's the new West Bend.
Up North Joe's down in East Troy, too. It's big.
Time now for Whoa Nelly.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa Nelly
on Wilde and Tausch.
How you guys watching the game on Sunday? I never know what to do exactly for playoff games. You like to get together with friends and family and watch it. You like to it's a little extra intense. I kind of like to be, with people, but also like not really conversing. What is your setup for how you will be consuming Packers-Eagles on Sunday? Tausch?
I'll just be watching it at my house and then getting fired up to do, hopefully, we'll be able to Rap City USA, and I'll be wrong, and that it'll be Green Bay up by 25 points in the third quarter. We'll start that postgame show early, but I don't envision that being the case. I'm watching it at home. That's what I'm going to be planning on doing.
I have covered a number of Packers-Eagles games over the years at Lincoln Financial Field. Always enjoyed the folks that sit right in front of the press box and bang on the windows when something good happens for the Eagles. That's super fun, but I will be at home for this one. I'm not traveling, so I will miss those nice folks. I'll miss the guy who offered me a beer in the parking lot when I parked in the wrong lot for a game, and I was wearing a pink shirt, and he shouted, "Nice shirt, douchebag!" And then when I rolled with his critique, we became pals, but I did not take him up on his beer. So I just want it to be a nip and tuck, close all the way.
Teams to have fun and play hard.
No, I want it to be a really good game with a really good story. And if that really good story is the Packers winning and advancing to Detroit, great. If it's something else that's compelling, great. But I will be watching that game at home with Stella and Sadie and the cats, and I'm sure Paula and the girls will find something else to do on Sunday.
Whoa Nelly.
Tausch, do you have any memories being in Philadelphia besides the one that you'd like to forget?
Oh, well, obviously there was better stories. I was not on the field, but the last time we played in the playoffs, I believe, was 2010, 2011, and what a gritty, gutty win. Tramon Williams was a dog, Starksy, big day. It was a gritty, tough, hard-fought win that ended up spurring us to go on and win a championship. So, yeah, while 4th and 26 is always something that is like a little knife, at least there's an opportunity. We were able to go up there and find that way to win. So that would be the other one. And it's a heck of a lot more fun to recall that than to recall the game in 2003.
Whoa, Nelly!
I remember going to one of the, I don't remember which one it is, and I saw there were lots of folks with better alternatives for cheesesteaks for those that are traveling than Pat's and Geno's. But I remember the first time I went to Philadelphia, and you got to get a cheesesteak. And the guy threw my cheesesteak, which of course I had special ordered, and said, I just want cheese and steak. I don't want all the other stuff on it. I don't think he was super interested in a special order. So he threw the cheesesteak onto one of those, it's like a metal counter, and it slid across the counter. And while the sandwich stopped at the edge, the juices that were inside said sandwich continued with the inertia, like a seatbelt when you're driving, and went all over my shirt. So that was my first experience of a Philly cheesesteak. Lots of nice people in Philadelphia.
You sound like you've had a lot of great experiences
not
there.
As much. Yeah, it's a lovely place. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Whoa,
Next.
Nelly!
Outside of the football weekend, it all starts with Wisconsin basketball tonight with another Friday night home game at the Kohl Center. And this one's in your time frame, Tausch. 6 o'clock tip. I think they're on Peacock again tonight. If not, I'll check. They host the Minnesota Golden Gophers. A lot of Friday home games for the Wisconsin men's basketball team this year. How do we feel about that?
Don't love it.
Not the case in years past.
Yeah, they started playing. I like the Saturday afternoon games. That was where I always kind of really enjoyed it. But now you got Monday standalones, Friday standalones. I get it. Peacock it if you want. I did see Greg Gard on Wednesday at a little retirement party for someone that we both know, and his vibes are strong, man. He's feeling good. I think he really likes this basketball team. So
awesome.
I know they had a couple of hiccups there before the holidays, but good couple wins. Like to see him continue on. I think everybody is vibing. It's a good vibe on that down there with the Wisconsin Badgers.
Yeah, I'm glad that I have Peacock now. I got a good deal on it for this year, and I can finally see the end of the 60-yard line, which Tausch cannot, because despite it being his Academy Award-winning performance in that film, he doesn't have access to it unless one of us gives him our passwords.
I don't want it. Access.
You're so stubborn.
Not stubborn. Principled.
You can come over anytime. I've got it on the basement TV. We can watch it. You can make some popcorn.
Sure, popcorn.
Make it a
Sounds
double
yummy.
feature with a Badger basketball
double
game.
feature.
Be a good time.
All right.
Why don't you feel the same way about, like, Paramount Plus?
I don't know. Just a vibe I got. It's my vibe.
Oh. Peacock.
Yeah.
It's a fun
My
one
vibe.
to say angrily.
Like Poppycock?
Kinda. Yeah.
Whoa, Nelly.
Whoa, Nelly! Earlier this week, I filled in hosting the Great Dane Huddle with Barry Alvarez on ESPN Madison.
I wondered, after hearing that you had filled in on that program, if and when we would get to you hosting it and a clip therein.
We had some fun. Here's what I want to play for you. I asked Barry Alvarez, we talked a little bit about the NFL playoffs and about Packers-Eagles coming up this weekend. I want to know how many times Tausch heard a speech like this from Barry Alvarez. It's not very long, but we asked Barry Alvarez, the Packers kind of losing momentum heading into the playoffs. What do you say to the team this week if you're Matt LaFleur? Here is how he answered that question.
I would take the approach, a new season, forget about what's happened. Everything's ahead of us. We have as much opportunity as anyone, and I'd really get people cranked up for reloading and getting after that first round game.
How many times did you hear something like that, Tausch?
A lot. I mean, Barry Alvarez was a great He does a great job with messaging and understanding what the team needed to hear. There were times we had a tough loss against Cincinnati or a tough loss against Michigan, and it would be, we still have this in front of us. Stick together. You know, it's coaching 101. I've heard that speech many times, and it's not important to give the speech. It's important that your guys are receptive, understand it, and will actually go through and execute it. And that's built on a long-term deal. That's where you have to have the relationships and the trust that what he's saying is authentically true. And that's why when Barry Alvarez told the one kid to sit down when he said we're going to win a Big Ten championship, that's how you establish that trust, is you don't BS guys. You shoot straight with them. You let them know what you're thinking and how you're approaching it. And Barry was the best at that.
Do you think his coaching would have translated to the NFL? If you remember, when the Packers hired Ray Rhodes for the 1999 season, the year before you came into the league, he was interviewed. Ron Wolf interviewed him for the job. There were also times where they talked about him maybe as the Eagles coach, having been a Pennsylvania guy. Do you think he would have translated as an NFL coach?
Yes.
I agree.
There is no doubt. He's not Ben Johnson. He's not Matt LaFleur. Oh, what an offensive guru, all this. Barry Alvarez is a leader of men. He got his guys to follow what his vision was. That includes his staff. That includes his players. That includes everybody in the building. That's what made him great. So, yeah, for all this other stuff and, you know, all you got to do this, you have a basic principle that you base around your talent and you get buy-in from that group. So, yes, he would have been a fine NFL head coach, not a doubt in my mind.
I think my favorite clip that I've heard from the Great Dane Huddle is him talking about how many times Cam Scatabo from Arizona State would have run the ball in his offense. He had like 50 carries.
Let me tell you something. There's a power ranking of Alvy quotes on the Great Dane Huddle. There's nobody. Number one is definitely queued up, been said 1,000 times. Everything else is playing for silver.
Who the hell gives a whether Ben Rush
I did run by your idea to play the conference championship games on the home at the home stadiums of the better teams.
Yep.
And he was very much on board with that idea to save money for fans traveling.
Yeah,
so
we're smart.
Wanted to
We're
let you know that
guys.
your idea has now been in the ears of Barry Alvarez. And
So,
he
guys, do I approach AJ and get this in front of Pat McAfee and get that distribution to the powers that be? On Monday, I shoot AJ a text. I say, hey, here's my plan. Monday night after that game, their show on Tuesday. Do I put this out there so that the Detroit Lions, if Green Bay beats Philly, Detroit could say, nope, we want to play Washington, or nope, we want to play Tampa. Is that something I should do?
Wait a minute. Are you doing this so there could be a discussion about your great idea? Like the NFL.
No, I want the rule. It's not about me. I want the rule implemented.
So let me get this straight. Because if you get wider distribution,
Yes.
you're like Peacock, and you want this on NBC.
I want what on NBC?
Your idea.
I want my idea to be heard by the powers that be. I tweeted at Roger Goodell. I tried to get in touch with Troy Vincent.
So
I need someone that has a direct panel right to the NFL media industrial complex.
We got to get the
Pat
Chippewa
McAfee
Frogs.
does.
Right, and what I'm saying is that you want our show is Peacock.
No,
it's the streaming.
No, it's not.
Compared
No,
to the compared to the Pat McAfee
so
show.
Here's the deal: McAfee show gets 550 million views.
Right, so he has NBC,
Goodell,
the network.
I'm not buying your analogy. You want me to? I'm not going to. I'm just not.
And you want, just to be clear, who's the J-Wag now?
Here's what it is.
You want the NFL
Jason,
to institute this
I
in
do.
time for the game next week.
Here is what you want. A good analogy. Here's a good analogy.
I'll
Right
be the
now,
judge of that.
we are a low-priced, kind of a kitschy local lobbyist. We can lobby the city councilman of Dodgeville. Okay, I need to get the
think
big
we're better than
swinging
that.
hitter that is getting all the stuff done at the national level. That's what I'm hiring. I want to hire the big dog. Pat McAfee would be my lobbyist.
Mr.
I'm
Tauscher
hiring
goes
him
to
as my
Washington.
big boy lobbyist to get it in front of Goodell and all the powers that be of the big boy networks. That's what I want. So it's not about Peacock and Paramount. No, that doesn't make any sense in the analogous game.
Jesse, you know that totally made sense, and I'm not going to put you in a spot where then he says, oh, you're afraid of Jason. So I'm not going to do that.
Jesse, who's more right with their analogy?
Can confirm Wisconsin, Minnesota tonight, 6 o'clock on Peacock. You can
That's
stream
an
it
early
exclusively.
Peacock start.
Yeah, it is.
That's it for Whoa Nelly.
Thank God.
Whoa, Nelly!
Let's go play this football game.
You really think you're going to get look, what they've done,
Yeah,
fantastic.
great. Yeah.
God bless them.
Yep.
I
think he'd be on board with it. He's a wrestling guy. He's an entertainment first guy. That's
Right.
what this is.
I love the idea of having them talk about your idea.
Mm-hmm.
The idea that they are going to institute it in time for the Detroit Lions to choose a different opponent.
It won't happen this year, but it
Okay.
will down the road.
Wanted to make sure we're
That's
on
how
the same.
lobbying works, Jason. You lobby.
I
for
didn't
what
know you were.
want in the
You should have
future.
run for governor.
Maybe I will.
Feel Good Friday, painted by Holman Lindsay Paints,
Whoa.
wraps up the show.
Oh, snap.
Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
Something special is brewing at ESPN Madison.
Swinging a fly ball to left, to the wall, gone!
You're listening to Madison's new home of the Milwaukee Brewers, 100.5 ESPN.
Mark Tauscher here, and with Green Bay back in the playoff spotlight this weekend, I'm feeling good on this Feel Good Friday on Wilde and Tausch, painted by Holman Lindsay Paints. Because of playoff football, maybe this isn't the best weekend to start your next paint project, but when you are ready for some bold new colors for your home, like green and gold? Do what my family did and trust Home and Lindsey's Pro Painters to get the job done right. Choosing the pros is the way to go. All you have to do to get connected with them is stop into any of Home and Lindsey's Madison area locations and ask. They'll help find the pro painters best suited for what you need. And remember, Home and Lindsey's paint is the one paint you can trust to withstand the challenges of Wisconsin's weather year-round. Wisconsin's best painters use Wisconsin's best paint, and Wisconsin's best painters are the pro painters at Home and Lindsey Paints. Home and Lindsey, great paint, great people, and stick around for Feel Good Friday coming up to close out today's show, painted by Home and Lindsey Paints.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by the Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's home for craft beer and pub food since 1994. Find the Great Dane nearest you and check out the menu at greatdanepub.com. Love Madison Volleyball makes its inaugural debut Friday evening. The pro women's roster includes Olympians, medalists, and former Badger stars. Founding athlete Lauren Carlini on why the Cap City is the place for this team.
They love their volleyball, they love their sports, and so being able to bring a professional team to them, this is something they've earned, right, over the years. For as long as they've been Badger fans and supporting us and seeing that growth and the potential, there's a reason why they chose this market and why love is here. Really looking forward to feeling that support that we've had now for many years.
Love Madison facing Austin, 4:30 first serve on ESPN+.
Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years at PellaWI.com.
Waiting to see a general surgeon? With Stoughton Health, it's always easy access, with most appointments within a week. And with over 160 insurances accepted, you're covered and in good hands. For more information, visit StoughtonHealth.com. Stoughton Health, creating excellence together.
Happy New Year and happy new engagement. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. You have heard me talk about corporate, fundraising, and even casino events, but we are also amazing wedding DJs. Never cheesy and always the perfect fit for the perfect couple. Please let us help you narrate your wedding day love story while playing an amazing soundtrack that will rock your dance floor. Create lifelong memories of your one special day. Do it right and do it with celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
When you've been seriously injured, you'll need a team with knowledge and experience to get the results you deserve. Call Gruber Law Offices today. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
Madison's home of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Lillard lobs up top to Giannis. Whoa, what a play!
Wisconsin Badgers volleyball.
Underneath it, bump set, left side, powers it down. What a rally! And Wisconsin comes out on top.
And now, the Milwaukee Brewers.
Hit to left and deep. Get up! Get up! Get out of here! Gone! Wow!
This is Madison's new home of the Milwaukee Brewers. 100.5 ESPN.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Tracks.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV. Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
You gotta get down on Friday. It's time to finish the week off right. It's Feel Good Friday on Wilde and Tausch, painted by Home and Lindsey.
Born and raised under the rain and a western wind, felt the way.
We wrap up the show and wrap up the week with our Feel Good Friday, painted by Home and Lindsey Paints. Tausch, Tom Mulhern covered you, right?
He did, yep.
He obviously meant the world to me as a young reporter who learned so much from him. And so every year we do the Tom Mulhern Stand-Up Guy Award. Yesterday we presented it to Josh Jacobs and to Xavier McKinney. It's the 10th year that it has been named in Mully's honor after he passed away in 2014. But we also have a scholarship at the University of Wisconsin. It is the Tom Mulhern Scholarship for Sports Journalism. I'm going to share the link for that. We have given out scholarships now for the last 10 years, and I want to thank Katie Culver at the UWJ school and a bunch of other folks at UW who managed to make it effective right away, and we were able to give out money right away to students. So we continue to do that. I take a lot of pride in that. So I'll share the link to that coming up. But thanks to everybody who has supported it already, and thanks to the Packers for embracing it and giving it a lot of attention as well. That means a lot to me. So that is it for us this week. Tausch, we'll be back here on Monday. We'll be talking about a win or talking about a loss. Maybe we'll all be proven wrong, and we'll be talking about a Packers win. That's it for us this week. Have a great weekend. Enjoy Packers-Eagles, and we'll see you on Monday. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on Wisconsin On Demand.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite